Hey there, nerds. Welcome to Alpha 21, the best show on the internet. I said it here. Best show on the internet.
Well, you didn't need to say it because everyone already fucking knows it, Pedro.
Yeah,
Oh,
best. Everyone knows it.
there's our demonetization in the first 10 seconds.
It can't hurt because we weren't monetized. It's fine.
Well, it, it hurts us in the algorithm. They're like, well, these people we cannot push to the top.
Yeah, they're clearly crazy. Oh man. So how we doing, buddy? I'm joined here by my lovely co-host Seth, the Oathbreaker Slykehouse. How we
Ooh,
doing?
that's a good name. So there's a D&D class called the Paladin Oathbreaker that I've always wanted to play, but it's super hard to play because it doesn't really fit into any party because they're technically like a villain. Because like
I thought gonna say they were
D
like Sigma males.
no, so D&D is really weird because they give you the tools to make villainous characters, but you don't really ever have any reason to play a villainous character in a party unless it's like it would have to be a very very good DM with a very custom game. Um, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm doing good, man. I'm finally starting to recover from being sick, I think, but I'm not sure because what ended up happening to me was I got really sick, as you know, a few weeks ago. And then last week here, I backslid. I was getting better, and then I backslid really hard to the point where like I was like a fucking corpse walking into work one day. And I got out and I was worried. I'm like, man, I hope something's not like more wrong. 'Cause it's not normal to be sick with like a sinus infection this long and
Yeah.
respiratory infection. And so I didn't want to wait until Monday to go to the doctor, so I did the teledoc thing,
Yeah.
and they prescribed me steroids, like a high dose of steroids. They prescribed me a super high dose of antibiotics and an inhaler. And dude, after I took that, 4 hours later, I woke up and I felt great. I was like, broke my fever broke and I felt great, but I can't get over this like mucusy cough and like sinus infection thing, and I don't know what to
Yeah.
do about it because I'm worried. This is my new normal. This is how I'm gonna be forever now.
Yeah, I've
and,
been
and
kind of I've been kind of the same way. I've been like hacking up phlegm for like 2 weeks, and I don't understand what's going on.
yeah, I don't know. It's there. My one buddy got sick last month, and I didn't see him, so I don't know if I can get it from him. But he said he got sick and it took him like a month to get over, and none of the people around him got sick. But I have the same symptoms. Like you would think, like Caitlin would have gotten sick
Mhm.
or someone around me. No one got sick around me. It was just me. So whatever it is, it affected just my specific immune system. It's crazy. I don't know what the deal is,
It's the
but
fox die virus.
I don't know what that is.
It's from Metal Gear. It's a specific virus that's only designed to kill a specific set of DNA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the government's out for me. They
yeah,
target specific people they know that could crumble the whole government, and they're like, Seth Slykehouse, get him down.
yeah. They saw your opinion on Breath of the Wild, and like he's got to go. He's,
Listen, I stand by. Did you see my tweet today?
yeah, I did.
Where
you,
Austin
you
commented?
you were
I,
fucking throwing bombs, buddy.
I said, I wonder what new groundbreaking gameplay we're gonna see this year, like Nintendo fans thought climbing was in 2017.
Yeah,
And
you
Austin's
you were
trying to
throwing
play it
bombs.
off. Austin's trying to play it off, saying, "What? But Breath of the Wild was the first game to ever feature climbing," sarcastically. But he's one of the ones that said it. All
He
right, he's one of
was.
the these motherfuckers all pretended like Breath of the Wild was like this groundbreaking achievement in video games. And Austin, if you're watching this, I love you, but come on, you and Coach were out of control with Breath of the Wild. Coach still is. It's still like the only game Coach plays.
What?
Dude, I swear to God, like last year he went back and said he was going to start over in anticipation for Tears of the Kingdom. And
Why?
right, I guess it was still called Breath of the Wild 2 back then.
Oh.
But I don't know, man. I just listen, as I'm getting older, I'm understanding that there's certain things that I just don't get, and they're just not for me, right? Modern day comic books, not for me. All right.
Hmm.
Like we talked about earlier, Twin Peaks, not for
Yeah.
me. All right. That weird game based on Twin Peaks that wasn't Alan Wake, the horror
Deadly
game. What's it?
premonition.
Deadly Premonition. Not my
that,
thing. I don't
that
get that.
game's so dumb.
Listen, I get campiness. Like I love campiness. I love Power Rangers, GI Joe, right? But that it's that weird specific like horror camp that I don't understand. It doesn't click. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know.
Now there's certain things I don't understand. Like I don't understand Trekkies, never will. I don't understand
Hmm.
people who don't like pulp in their orange juice. I think that's a little strange. There's just certain sects of people who like I don't understand you.
When
So
you say
it's
you don't understand Trekkies, what do you mean? You don't understand like
I
why someone would like Star Trek?
yeah, like it just doesn't, but it just doesn't appeal to me. But people love it. It's like people who are Dune fans, like it's just like what about this lore is so good that like it's so
Dude, straight up,
non-mainstream.
I thought the Dune movie was fucking terrible. I've tried to watch it like 4 times. I can't get through it.
I don't have an opinion on it. Like I just like I can't. The same like Star Trek. Like I get the concept, I understand. Like I'm not like a fucking
Star Trek, I
invalid,
think,
but
was
but
Star
yeah,
Trek the first of its kind?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That may have been why it's so popular. Because like I think Star Wars is infinitely more interesting than Star
yeah.
Trek. But
Uh-huh.
If Star Trek was your introduction to sci-fi,
Yeah.
I can understand how you would get involved with Star Trek primarily. Also, I watched the first season ever of Star Trek like 10 years ago, and I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
And that Black Mirror episode based on Star Trek is phenomenal.
I mean, like I said, I don't get it. Don't understand it. There are Trekkies our age, which look, what?
I mean, their parents have to be Trekkies, right? That's how that
Yeah,
happens.
my dad's a Trekkie, and like we were sworn enemies.
It's like I was a Steelers fan for like 6 years, but it's because I was a teenager and my dad was a Steelers fan, and I really didn't watch football, right? So
Right.
for 6 years is a long time. We're talking maybe 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Just certain things I don't understand, or like how people can be White Sox fans. Like that's depressing. But anyway, we're getting a little off the rails there.
Isn't there a historical controversy with the White Sox? Like, weren't they accused
Yeah,
of
they
cheating?
cheated in the 1919 World Series, the famous Black Sox scandal.
1919. Listen, when people talk about this, I thought this happened in like 1980. All right,
No.
if a sports team cheated in 1919, let's forget about it.
Yeah,
Come on, baseball wasn't even really a sport in 1919. No one cares.
yeah, no, players would make like $1,200 a season. I'd be
Yeah,
cheating too.
come on. So anyway,
So
buddy, how are
yeah.
you?
I'm doing great. Still getting, like I said, over this random like phlegm coughing fit I've had because like the last 2 weeks randomly I had like cold symptoms, but I didn't have a full on cold. I had like
Mhm.
a very mild cold, let's call it. Like, and then I just for some reason either I got bronchitis or something happened where I was just like congested and coughing up phlegm and still getting over it. So
You're
like
around dirty people all day though, too. Right?
yeah, I
So
work in a prison, so
yeah,
that's
that's gonna happen.
probably yeah.
Do
So
you
I
remember
probably caught.
that wild story right at the beginning of COVID where the prisoners were all like coughing into a mask to
Yeah.
try and get COVID to get pulled out of the prison?
Yeah. So here's a fucked up story, and you'll get a kick out of this. When I was working juvie, I had a kid on my caseload who was fucking spitting on people with COVID, and they got charged with fucking. It was like I forget. It was like an assault charge or some shit like that because like
Oh my
they're on
god.
they're on the COVID unit spitting on people.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that kid was
You
on
are
my
wild.
caseload. I'm like, I remember meeting with a kid like, you are just a fucking stud, aren't you? Like just a peak humankind here. Like who does that?
I don't know, man. I have no idea. In fact, I'll say this: I've never spit on a human being except one time when
Oh
you're
no.
gonna laugh at it. I spit on Watson by
Oh
accident.
god. Oh, okay, that's
I
fine.
did. I spit on Watson by accident. So he
Like were you
gave
like
me
hawking a loogie and he just so happened to
no,
like be in the okay.
and I felt awful about this. It's one of the only times where I messed with Watson to the point where I apologized.
Uh-huh.
So he was eating a chip, and it was a really gross flavor he got at Walmart. And he like we went outside to GameStop, and he's like, "Dude, just eat it, just try it, right?" And he gave me like 2 chips, and I'm like, "All right." So I shoved it in my mouth, and I was like gonna pretend to like throw up and like spit him out, but I didn't lean forward far or like lean down far enough. So I spit forward too much, and I spit chewed up chip all over him. He's like, to be fair, like I probably would have smacked him if he did it to me. But to be fair, he was just like, "Dude, that's gross." And I was, "Oh my god, I'm so
Oh man.
sorry."
Yeah, no. I'll be without giving too much detail. I've seen humans do things that you wouldn't think to do. Like I've seen people spit on people. There have been times I left work and covered in shit. So like
Yeah.
yeah, we've been yeah. And it's been like more than once.
Yeah. I would imagine that's you got to have a special type of steel to work in the U.S. prison system.
Yeah, so shout out to my North Central homies. You guys are going through it as usual, but you're taking one for the team. Not
I'm
this
not
team,
sure
but
if
we're
it's
out. We're out.
better or worse to be like a guard in a third world country though, because I feel like
Oh, it's probably worse. It's probably worse.
you think so. Well, because like
Oh god, yeah.
here in America, prisoners have rights.
Yeah.
In a third world country, they're probably just gonna kill them, right? Like if you do this shit in Thailand, you like spit on someone in Thailand, the prison guard's probably just gonna break your neck and throw you over
Yeah,
the
but I just
cliff or
like
whatever.
their working conditions are brutal. Like I
That's
wouldn't
true.
know. Yeah, I have no way. Like there's a like our prison system here is fucked up for sure, but
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
they'll never be. We're good. It's fine. So, other than that, just been you know working on the apartment hunt. I think we've got a couple places lined up, so we're going to be looking at them in the next couple weeks. And
Oh wow.
yeah, we got to we got to get ourselves situated. As fun as it is, living in my buddy's man cave. It's it's time.
I'll be honest, I hate moving
Moving
so
sucks.
much
I
to the point
just
where like if I was in your condition and you're
yeah.
like your position, I probably wouldn't move just because I would have because you're planning on moving back next year, right? So
Yeah.
I'd probably be like, I'm just gonna stay here and hold out until next year so I don't have to move twice. Because I would
Yeah,
just want to kill myself.
yeah, I mean, I got to get my own spot. Certain things as a 32-year-old man that you want to do, and
Yeah.
yeah,
You want to paint.
Juno. Yeah, I want to paint. I want to paint. I want to paint the town red. That's what I want
Whoa. Hey.
to do. But yeah, just other than that, I've been balls deep in Kaseki, and let's
Oh
get into
yeah.
what we're playing. It's Kaseki all day, all night. Kaseki.
Yeah.
Or otherwise
That's right.
Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky SC. And I've got some fucking opinions here. And
So I just
that
want to point out, I believe for the first time in history, this is the first time me and you are playing a Kiseki game at the same time.
yeah,
The last time me and you were playing a game at the same time, I believe, was Kingdom Hearts 3.
correct.
We beat the same night.
Yeah.
Great time.
Now you're gonna end up beating this game before me because I think if you're saying there's that many chapters, uh, I'm like where the fuck? I just got to chapter 3 where the shit's going down in Grand Cell and they're about to do the non-aggression pact, which is crazy. So getting into that, the writing, the setup
Mhm.
is like, goddamn.
It makes me really understand that the people who say that you need to start with Trails in the Sky and that starting with Cold Steel is a mistake were right
Yeah.
because there's things that are hinted at in Trails in the Sky that don't show up until like the second or third game or even the fourth game in Cold Steel.
Uh-huh.
And like they seemed like such a weird, no big deal thing, like another like one of the convoluted nonsense text boxes in Cold Steel. But
Yeah.
they actually were a throwback to, the first or second game in the series. And just like that screenshot you shared to me earlier with Oliver talking about the Blood and Iron
Chancellor,
Chancellor
yeah.
Gilbert Osborne, you're just kind of like, okay, well, whatever. This weird, Chancellor in Arabonia, and then it turns out, 4 games later, like, okay, he's like a main character in the series.
He's like a major player.
Yeah. So, yeah, really, really fascinating, amazing writing. I'm really impressed with it.
Yeah, no, the setup, especially like when what happens to certain characters, like when Ren shows up, you're like, and I'm like already suspicious of her immediately, but uh we'll see if that comes to fruition in an SC. I do love the way, and I mean I guess we're kind of slightly spoiling the game, but whatever. The way they're introducing the enforcers,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a real kick out of that. Except there was that
So,
enforcer who I had never heard of, and I think he's going to pop up in this next arc.
so there's enforcers though that aren't in Cold Steel, like a lot of them.
Yeah,
And I'm wondering do they die in this game or the next game, or are they just like off doing something else in Crossbell, Arc, and Cold
Yeah.
Steel? Because I mean, let's be clear, we have a lot to go still. I mean, my
We
my
have a whole arc and a whole nother duology,
my
Trails into
plan
Reverie.
my plan is to not play Reverie until I'm caught up, and then I'll be caught up and I'll be locked and loaded for Kuro.
Yeah.
So what do you yeah, by the way, earlier you said there's more chapters. There's 10 chapters
Yeah.
including the prologue and final chapter. So there's chapters 1 through 8, which
Okay. I'm ready
I'm
for it. I'm
sorry,
here for
one
it.
there's chapters 1 through 9. So there's 11 chapters in total.
Yeah, I'm
Man,
already like 25 hours in, so.
it's so I somehow got way overpowered in this game, and I don't know how it happened, to the point where like most enemies in chapter um 6 and 7 did 0 damage to me when they were hitting me. Like they like even bosses, some bosses would just hit me and it would just say 0. It would just register as 0, and I'm like,
That's
huh.
beautiful.
I wonder what happened there.
What level are you?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm in the high 70s.
Alright.
Um,
I'm in the mid 50s right now.
um, so yeah, I'm in chapter 8. So there's 8 chapters.
Mhm.
So yeah, there is 10 in total.
Okay.
Um, but to be clear, they're not first chapter length chapters. They're like you can
Little
beat a
mini.
chapter in this game in like a quarter or half the time.
Yeah.
So
So the only thing I will say is I got hosed on the hide and seek quest, which is bullshit.
oh yeah, I had
Did
to
you
look
get
that up.
hosed too?
No, I looked it up. I was like,
Well,
I cannot find this.
what I figured out where they were, I'm like, okay, they got to be in here. And then
Hmm.
like I looked it up just to confirm, and I was clicking on the spot that they were like supposed to be at, and like nothing would pop up. So I finally just gave up, and they popped up from right there. I'm like, you sons of bitches.
Yeah.
So, uh, I will say the only thing starting to get a little old for me is like the bracer stuff.
What do you mean, like the side quests?
Yeah, like some of them are kind of getting like a little bit repetitive. Like, but granted, that's because we're playing games back to back and then to back. So of course, like we're
Yeah.
gonna see monster quest. Like, oh fuck. But
So the
yeah.
monster quests are the only ones that like actually relieve me now, because I'm like, all right, I can I can go and just bang this one out, and I don't have to worry about like lengthy text or anything like that. I can just go kill this thing. But then
Yeah,
but then
I
the other annoying thing is that sometimes they're like really, these monsters are hard to find. And I'm like, I'll be walking around forever and I cannot find these monsters. But
sometimes
um
I look it up where they're at. I'm like, all right, where are you?
yeah, this is one of those games where you definitely benefit from having a guide, as long as the guide is quality and it doesn't spoil you.
Yeah,
Um and I have a really good one on GameFAQs that I follow, but
yeah. I think I'm using the same one.
But yeah, man, phenomenal game. Great writing. Things just pick up and up and up. Now, I have heard that the third game is not as good, or it's very different, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what that means. I know Estelle's not the main character. I know who Kevin is.
Yeah,
So
the priest.
yeah, I think he's cool. I like Kevin.
So far, I like Kevin. So far, our opinion remains open on him.
Hmm.
Because I know. So here's the thing: like with the Septian Church, we're getting super deep into it. I love it. But the Septian Church, like them, they're like fucking agents that pop up. Like if you played the Colt Steel game, there's more to those guys
Yeah,
that meets the eye. Which again, it's crazy. How many fucking organizations does this game does this series need?
I don't know. I want to know who's in charge of like keeping track of all the lore for this game.
There's got to be a lore master. Who is the Trails lore master? Because
There has to be, dude, because this is too much to keep track of, that they're not like contradicting each other and stuff.
yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
again, so I'm just wondering because I'm wondering after Kuro, like, what's the climax? Like, how are they going to tie this all up into one game? Right? Because it's got to
I don't
end on
know.
one game, right?
So I will say, I felt personally like by the end of Cold Steel 4, we had too many characters in play.
Yeah.
Like because you just had to like manage like 25 playable characters, and I was like, okay, well
They
this
got to
is
be a
kind of,
lot.
yeah, I was like, this is cool, but I do wish maybe there was like some sort of automation here, or like some thing where I could just click and be like, or maybe these characters had some sort of like, because a lot of them would leave your party and then come in for like, you know 3 or 4 hours and then leave again. And I was like, okay, well, maybe next time they come in, they can like take care of their own orbments and shit. Give me like their optimal build instead of just expecting me to do it. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I think I don't know what else can we say about the series besides it's phenomenal. I'm really
I
glad you're liking it.
Yeah, no, I'm just really interested to see how they're gonna like what the end game is gonna be and how they're gonna end this because like I don't know. There's so many characters that are like beloved that like people really gravitate to that I don't know how you're gonna get a satisfactory ending. That's just like one of my concerns with Trails or the legend this specific arc, and then once they finish all these games, like what are they gonna do next? Like what?
They need to make a fighting game, dude. We need a Falcom fighting game. I've been saying it forever. There's too many unique, cool characters that all have cool abilities that are constantly fighting for this not to have a fighting game in the series.
I think there is one.
Yeah, well, I showed you one of them. It took
Yeah.
place. The one fighting game I sent you was on the PSP. It's only released in
Yeah.
Japan, and it came out right before the first Crossbow game, I think.
Mhm.
So like Lloyd is in it and stuff, but it's
Lloyd
uh
Benning.
it's Ease versus Legend of Heroes,
Ooh. So
and
just like Adol and other people you probably never heard of versus all these characters.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it didn't get like super good reviews, but I mean, man, we need listen. If my aura can reach anybody out there in the Japanese game sphere, we need Falcom to get in contact with who's the people that make like Blaze Blue and stuff.
Oh, I forget their fucking name. I know who you're talking about though.
That fighting game studio, and to make an absolute killer fighting game. That's what we need. I need a 2D fighter based in this game.
Yeah, give me like basically Persona 4 Arena, like that style of combat
Yeah,
with
exactly.
yeah.
And it's
With the
already
writing.
pretty.
Yeah.
It's already pretty much a visual novel. So like, let's go. I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm really really loving the Kaseki stuff, and I can't wait to be done with the Liberl arc, and then like we have the crossbell stuff, and then I'm hoping see the big thing that is killing me being caught up by the time Reverie comes out is one specific game.
What's that? Final Fantasy?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 16.
So I'm not planning on being caught up by the time Reverie comes out. I'm gonna be caught up before I play Reverie. Is my goal.
Yeah. I don't know if I see it happening for me because the reason I want to be caught up for Reverie. Reverie comes out on my birthday, my guy.
Ooh.
Like I can't not be playing Trails in the Reverie on my birthday. Like I just can't. Like
Yeah, I understand that.
yeah, July
Yeah.
7th, 2023. Like we we gotta be in there. And,
That
and
game opens in a banger too. The opening of that game is
I played the first boss because I have Trails in the Reverie, the PS4 version, the Japanese one.
Mhm.
But I thought it was gonna be cool. I'm like, oh, I'll play Trails in the Reverie. Thank God I didn't. Fuck. But like, but it opens on a real cool banger, and like the new animations are great. Uh, and then I was watching gameplay on Kuro. That's gonna be an interesting game.
yeah. People seem to love it.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good
And
things about it.
I think the characters look really cool.
I think the battle system looks cool.
The battle system looks cool. I'm really excited for Kuro, especially because it's the first one that is made for HD that I'm
Yeah,
really into. Well, is it? Because I think Trails of Cold Steel 3
it's 3 and 4 are HD.
are they? They didn't come
Yeah,
out on PS3.
no. Well, Trails of Cold Steel 3 I think came out on Vita too, which is annoying. But I think 4. Actually, I think 4 also came out on Vita. I feel like both of them did.
Yeah. So, no, Trails of Cold Steel 3 did not come out on Vita.
I thought it did.
Just 1 and 2. Debatably a sin, but we'll you can't have people invest 200 hours into a series and then not release the next one on that console. Um, but yeah, man, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I hope we start getting these games a little sooner in terms of translation, which it seems like we are. Um, it seems like they're doing like they're putting in the work over there at Xseed. So
I mean, NIS.
I'm sorry, yes, NIS Xseed was the
I'm so
last.
sad Xseed isn't on this because I don't like NIS.
I'm not crazy about them, but I mean, let's be honest, they weren't doing a great job. They were taking forever to get stuff
Yeah.
done. So
Mm.
what can you do?
So last thing we'll spend on trails. Last couple things. So did you see? Have you seen the anime yet?
The Northern War or the OVA?
Yeah, the Northern War.
I watched the first 4 episodes. And I
I'm
thought it was
liking the Northern War. I like it.
pretty good so far. If you were not a Trails fan before, you're not going to be a Trails fan after. But um, for people who are already invested in the series and played Cold Steel, I think it's very good. Also, they made that OVA, and I wanted to watch that, but it turns out it's just that OVA, the hour and a half OVA, is just the entire second chapter. So like it's
Oh wow.
yeah, it's the whole game. So it spoils a whole bunch. So I was like, oh, I got to beat the game first, then I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Weird decision, but
Mm.
yeah, very good, man. Very good.
Yeah.
What,
And
so
then
what's
we're getting
real quick?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say before we move on, what's your battle party looking like in second chapter so far?
So right now, I have Estelle, Shara, and then Olivier and Chloe right now.
Okay. Okay.
Usually I keep Zin, but I don't know. I'm trying to be a little bit more arts based through this playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the first game, I was just fucking physical attacking the fuck at everybody until like I had to use arts, but now I'm like using arts more.
Yeah, nice balance is necessary, I would say.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice bosses aren't really a threat to me though.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like second chapter is significantly easier for me than first chapter was.
Yeah, yeah. I think the first one, like there were times I wiped on bosses. Now I'm just like, um, now I just kind of laugh like, ah, fool. You think you're gonna hit me?
Who wants this smoke?
Yeah. What like so like I get a little bit annoyed with the Ouroboros guys because I really want to fucking trade some hands, and then like, oh no, fight this boss instead. Fuck
Dude,
off,
I'll tell you what. There is a legendary. Oh no! Let me see. I don't want to spoil something for you. You said you're on chapter 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so City of Granzel.
Like I literally just gotten introduced to Campanella, which so when he got
Okay, yeah.
introduced, I'm like,
So
this
you
motherfucker,
met the monk guy, right?
the dire wolf.
Yeah, him, right?
Yeah,
There is a legendary fight between him and
him and
someone
Zin.
else. I mean, yeah, okay, it's Zin, obviously. Later on in the game, like
I love it.
like at the top of a tower, and like they didn't animate it at all. It's just they're two sprites like going at it.
I
It's
love
so
that. I
cool, dude.
absolutely love that.
It's so cool, and the dialogue is awesome. Like this is stripped straight out of a Yakuza game.
See, here's the thing where I get like straight Fist of the North Star vibes, where like you have the fucking four brothers of Hokuto Shinken, they all got a fucking trade hands. Like, oh. Because I just watched the there's a cutscene with Cassius Bright and then like the one soldier, and he's like fucking fighting. They're like fighting all over the place.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I'm like, I love that they did this way. Like this is
Mhm.
the greatest fucking thing in the world.
They didn't animate it. They just had these two sprites just like going all over the place. And I will say this: Cassius Bright pissing me off. All right, he had an excuse in the first game. Right, he was gone on a mission. In this game, he's just here. Right,
He joined the military. He's like, I'm back.
yeah, he joined the military. Okay, hey man, there's some serious shit going on. Divine Blade, why don't you get out there and do some work? All right?
He doesn't even use a fire. Like, when does he pick up a katana? And my thing with him, like, how is he still a divine blade? He doesn't use a katana. Like, so how badass is this motherfucker?
But
So
dude,
I'm hoping at some point in later in the games, like, you got to trade hands with him. Like, we got to fight him.
I don't know. But I will say this: there's a really funny. This is the scene that pushed me over the edge with him. There's a massive event that happens in like chapter 5 or 6, right? And it's like horrifying. And Cassius sees this happening, and he's like, is it time for me to step in? No. Like, hey man, get in there.
Yeah, and again, I see we're getting so in the weeds on this. I love it. But like the things about this series that makes it so good is like your characters are get stronger over time, but there's so many more people just leagues more powerful than you, and it's like
Yeah.
comically more powerful than you.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is like when you fight, like one of my favorite fights always was with McBurn, where he's like, you like take half his health, he's like, oh, I guess I can get serious now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Those fights in Cold Steel, especially like 3 and 4, were just like straight up Dragon Ball Z fights where they're
yeah.
like, I'm only using half my power. You know?
Or like when freaking the Viscount, the Laura's dad pops in, he's
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah,
RC.
let's go, buddy. And he just has a fucking aura. Like, I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
And then they cut out on the fight between him and McBurn. They don't show it because it was Cold Steel 2 and they didn't have the budget for that.
Like,
But
we're just not gonna show this.
yeah.
So yeah, like there's so many really good moments in the game that just and the setup, like Olivier's character right now makes me appreciate his character later in the series so much
Oh, I
more.
know.
Like I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh, I know. Like he's a great character,
He's
and
my
I don't
favorite one.
know. I never know if he's being serious or not. I'm like, I can't put a pin
Well,
on this
there
guy.
are times where he's just being like a dick. Like I think he's also being serious. Like he's trying to fuck at all times. But like and that means everybody, like men, women, he's about it. But there are times where he's like alluding to stuff, especially when the part where you go in the Erebonian the embassy, and he's like, oh, don't you think it would be great to just tell them what's going on? Like him not letting on that he is who he is.
Mhm.
So I was like, I love it. And his interactions with Mueller, I'm all about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So
I'm a
big
big
fan.
fan of his story. Big fan of his story because you would think someone would pick up on it at some
Right.
point, and even later on, there's a character that's like, I had my suspicions about you. And then like they just cut off. They don't ever address it. And I'm like, this must have been such like a tease back in the day.
Yeah.
And these poor fuckers in the United States didn't get like resolved until like it was they had to wait like 15 years in order to get a game.
Yeah, and then or at times with Cassie's like, oh, don't forget your mission of it, Olivia. He's like, oh, I wouldn't. Like everyone's like, what? Hold on, what? And it's all right, moving along. But there's gonna be a Trails of Cold Steel manga with focusing on Crow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I think is a really good idea. I'm probably gonna actually that'd probably be the first manga I read because like I'm interested to see how they tell his story because like I want to know how he got into his Divine Knight and all that shit. So
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, good
Yeah, that's pretty
stuff.
sweet.
Yeah, good stuff. So big fans of the Kaseki Cold Steel Trails in the Sky stuff. So moving right along. So I saw the Mario movie
Tell me about it.
last week. It was okay. So all the hate it gets, I don't really quite understand, and I think it's just really hyperbole. If we're being truthful, Jack Black, who, and this is coming from me, and I'm famously not a Tenacious D guy, but I thought Jack Black stole the show in that movie. I think him portraying Bowser was really really funny. It had its moments where it made me laugh. It had a lot of cool fan servicey stuff where I took my friend Adam and his son, and I was explaining stuff to his son, like some of the Easter eggs and stuff like that. So for like a casual Mario fan like me, them putting in a bunch of Easter eggs that I'd notice, there was a lot of good there. Chris Pratt as Mario was really good, I thought. But again, like Bowser stole the show for me. Uh, the plot made no sense, but again, the plot of Mario doesn't need to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of, Bowser wants to steal stars and kidnap Princess Peach. That's really all you need to know. So like the people are like, oh, the story's dumb, and I'm like, shut up. It's a fucking like it's a Mario movie.
Right.
And but I do respect that it wasn't a giant like ad for themselves like they did with like remember what, I don't know if you remember what the Mario, or not the Mario movie, the movie The Wizard was like a big Nintendo product ad, and
Right.
then like the original Mario Brothers movie was just that they did a real live action, which is never a good idea. Um, so it's an entertaining movie. I will say I give it a solid 7 out of 10. Like if you take your kids or you take a young kid, it's good. If you watch it, like say if you and Caitlin watch it, you probably have some moments that'll make you laugh. Like, that's funny. So and like I said, Jack Black steals the show for me. Like him as Bowser is like the greatest fucking thing. Like that, whoever cast that did a phenomenal job. But this
I
got
like
me.
that he wears the costume in all the
Yeah,
promotions, like in interviews and
yeah.
whatnot. I think that's really funny.
I think it's great. I really think he did a great job. And I've noticed getting into video game movies that they've done a pretty good job of casting. Like, could you believe that Jim Carrey was cast as Doctor Robotnik? Like
That
how
I
like
mean,
some and he did a
phenomenal.
phenomenal job. And he did a
Yes,
phenomenal job. Uh,
yes.
but this leads me to think. So, what other games do you want to see as a movie? Like, what
Ooh,
would be on your list? Give me three. You get
you kind of sprung this on me here.
yeah.
Um, the one thing that comes to mind for me, and I don't know if it would be a good movie, but maybe like a really high end TV show, is The Legend of Kane.
Oh, Legacy of Kain.
Legacy Kane, sorry,
Yeah.
Legacy Kane. That'd be pretty
Okay.
cool. Um, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. Tell me yours. I'll think about it while you tell me yours.
All right. So number one for me, I think I think you could do a Metal Gear movie. I think you could probably pull one off.
Fair, yeah,
That would be
definitely.
one. Number two, I think you could actually pull off a Parasite Eve movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And then number three, which I think people might find controversial, uh, but I think you could honestly pull off a decent GTA movie.
Yeah, I mean, like that'd just be like a regular like crime drama, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
so
But you could call it
I can
like
see
Grand
that.
Theft Auto, and people would probably be about it.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah.
Um, some things that come to mind for me are well, we already got a Prince of Persia. Never mind. Um,
Jake Gyllenhaal, baby.
I actually liked that movie.
I didn't mind it. It wasn't bad.
I could see like Aspire the Dragon. We already since we got like
Yeah.
Sonic and Mario. Did they make Aspire the Dragon movie?
No,
I don't think
not
so.
that I'm aware of, anyway.
And that same token, like a Jack and Daxter would work pretty well.
Yeah,
Um, Infamous, dude. Like, give me an Infamous movie. Give me something from the Infamous
I
series.
could see Sony doing an Infamous movie down the
I
road.
think Infamous is so cool, man. Um, I don't know because I feel like no matter what they've used it already. Darksiders would be good. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question because I feel like the best choices they've already chosen for movies. Because I would have said like something like Shadow of the Colossus, but supposedly
Mm.
that's already being made. Um, Tomb Raider they already made, which I thought that movie was garbage, terrible. Um, yeah, I don't know.
what about Siphon Filter?
Siphon Filter is a good one. Everyone loves like a spy espionage movie. My thing is
Yeah,
that I'm not too into movies these days anymore. I guess I like TV shows more. We've gotten to the level because like back when we were younger, TV shows were not on the same level as movies. You
right.
know, the quality level was massively different. But
Now
now, I
TV
mean,
shows, I feel like to the quality, like you get a movie a week.
yeah, exactly, and you can flesh things out more. Like we're getting that Harry Potter TV show, which is going to be a season
Ooh.
every a season for every school year.
Yeah,
Completely unnecessary considering the quality of those movies, but
yeah.
we'll see how that goes. But they're gonna obviously go into like more detail on the Harry Potter world itself. Um, but
Yeah,
I mean,
people are
come on, I
snapping the
can't.
fuck out about that.
No one wanted this. Like they just they have actually run out of ideas for like movies and media. It's crazy. They
Mm.
just keep rebooting the same things over and over again. It's insane. Like how many Ghostbusters movies are we gonna get now?
I don't like Ghostbusters. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, I haven't ever watched the Ghostbusters movies.
Like they're fine. They're fine. They're fine old entertainment, but like as far as like, oh, I'd love a new Ghostbusters movie. No, you don't. Everyone you shit all over it every time a new one comes out. So no, you don't love Ghostbusters. So
You know what? I'm gonna
yeah,
say this. I'm gonna say this. We don't need video game based movies.
I
I don't
don't disagree.
I think our medium is already superior and I don't like this constant like thing of bringing things live action. All right? We don't need video game movies and we don't need fucking old school Disney movie live action movies. This trend is pissing me off, dude. They're remaking The Little Mermaid this year, right? The Little
Yeah,
Mermaid is a phenomenal movie
mm,
and it's animated beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. Why do we need to make it live action? We didn't need any of these movies. If they make a fucking Hercules live action movie, I'm a snap. Leave Hercules alone. It's the one good male based movie Disney has from that era. And Hercules
People
is far underrated, by the way.
people are like, I mean, not that I want to get political, but like people are fucking snapping the fuck out about the Little Mermaid. Like, oh, she doesn't look the same. I'm like, oh my god, people.
Well, I
Like,
mean, it's a little fucked up, but um, I'm gonna say I just don't see the desire for live action movies. Do kids not like cartoons anymore? Why are we
probably
making
not.
these live action? I mean, I don't. I
I
just don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, some of the live action ones I've liked. Like, I enjoyed the Lion King for what it was, and the what is it, Beauty and the Jungle Book and Beauty and the Beast. Like, there are a couple decent ones. Mulan was terrible. Uh,
I haven't liked any of them. Every time I'm watching this, I'm like, I would rather just watch the animated one.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
No, the animated ones are superior.
they burst with character. They're just more interesting to watch. All these movies have like washed out tones to them, especially I felt about the Lion King. And the Lion King arguably might be the best Disney movie ever made.
Yeah, I
And
agree with that.
they're like we're gonna take it, we're gonna take all the life out of it. We're gonna cast some big names, so you're gonna watch it, and you're gonna give us your money, and that's all this is.
Oh,
I'm just like I'm just not about it, man. I'm just not
so
about it.
so quick side note. Speaking of Disney, and I guess since Disney fucking owns everything at this point, this falls into it. Did you see somebody tweeted how Obi-Wan sounds like the show when you watch it in Japanese?
What do you mean?
Like, so when you watch Obi-Wan the show with
Hmm.
Japanese VO,
Okay, what about it?
how like epic it is.
No, I haven't.
It's like watching a live action anime. It's fucking great. I recommend everyone, if you're bored, just flip that VO to Japanese and you're in for a fucking treat.
Oh my
you're in
god.
you're in for a fucking treat. So, yeah, quick side note there. But I do feel that we are getting oversaturated with video games being adapted into stuff but we're having some successes. So like The Last of Us was a hit. Um,
It was okay.
so now I feel like they created like a double edged sword where now they're, oh, look, The Last of Us did well, we can make a fucking show.
Mhm.
What video game show is Amazon going to do? Because they're going to fucking they're going to do it.
They're gonna ruin that because Amazon has ruined every show they've done so far.
Yeah,
Apparently, like
Amazon is. I didn't watch Rings of Power. I stopped watching Wheel of Time after episode 5. I was just over it. And so like they haven't made anything good yet that I think is gonna be like, I don't know. But I feel like they always like to throw their hat in the fucking, oh, we'll make this show. Or even Halo, which was on Amazon Prime, but it was like a Paramount Plus show, like was kind of little,
I don't know.
little poopy,
I just
little poopy.
I think video games are already superior in terms of storytelling
Yeah,
to movies, books, everything. And for them to just take movie or video games, right?
yeah.
Bastardize the rendered scenes in video games and like add their own Hollywood twist and special effects and call it better is like so insulting to me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? If you guys can't sit there with a fucking controller in your hands and have fun doing it, get out. We don't want
All
you
right.
in the
Yeah.
Halo fandom. Get out of here. You're not
Yeah,
welcome.
you're not for us. No.
No, you're not for us. Just like I'm not going to sit there and watch 40 seasons of Golden Girls. All right,
No.
we don't want you. You
No.
fucking boomers out of our hobby.
I agree. So, and the reason why we are so averse to this, and this is for me, like my own opinion, but I feel like you usually tend to agree with me on certain things. So when video games get adapted to like live action, they're usually or even anime for that aspect. It's usually a fucking disaster. Like
Yeah,
I've never seen Dragon Ball Evolution, and I've heard that's like historically fucking bad. And
it's historically bad, and also the reason Dragon Ball Super exists.
it's also
That's a true fact because Akira Toriyama was so disgusted with how Evolution turned out, and he didn't have any part of it, that he decided he's just gonna make some more good Dragon Ball stuff to like water out Dragon Ball Evolutions. People forgot about it.
Or even like Final Fantasy Spirits Within, famously a fucking turd movie. I've never seen it. I've actually never seen it. So I want to take this like alpha nerds that we should do like a watch along where we watch some of these fucking shitty movies.
You know, like that Final Fantasy like stink that something has that like me and you like. there's something about Final Fantasy. We love the series, but it's got like a weird like
Mm, I know
stink
what you're
every
talking about.
once in a
Yeah, a
while.
little stench.
Yeah,
Don't like
and
this.
it's like why are they doing this? Why did they do this? This doesn't make any sense. That's all Spirits Within. That's what that whole movie is. The whole movie doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem necessary. There's no combat in it if I remember correctly. Not a
What?
single. Yeah, it's like weird, man. I don't know. It's nothing. I don't know why Square did that.
We gotta have a watch along. I feel like we gotta have a watch along.
Yeah,
Just film our
I'm down.
reactions to it.
I'm down.
Are you though? You don't seem down.
I
Are you
mean,
down? You don't
whatever.
seem like you're into this.
I'll watch it again. I haven't watched it since I was a kid, but I'll watch it
I've
again.
never seen it. So I've never seen that. I've never seen Dragon Ball Evolution. I didn't see the Tekken movie. That's apparently fucking atrocious.
I forgot that existed.
What else haven't I seen? I didn't. Well, I fell asleep. Okay, so there was one time I had a girl over watching the Death Note movie, and we didn't watch the movie. Let's put it that way. So I haven't seen that. Uh, there's apparently a couple Rurouni Kenshin movies on Netflix that are bad.
Oh, I forgot about them.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I just want to do this deep dive of just fucking because one thing you know about me, I love shitty movies. Like it's like my favorite thing to watch a movie that's so bad it's good. So
Hmm.
like famously like the Street Fighter movie is so bad, so fucking bad that it's at comical at certain points where you're like this is like comically bad. Or like the Mortal Kombat movies from like the 90s, which I still think the first Mortal Kombat film is actually like a decent film, but it's some bad acting. And then Annihilation is just atrocious.
Dude, I knew I wasn't crazy. There is a Dead or Alive movie. Did you know this? Called
No.
DOA Dead or Alive. And I used to own it as a kid. I forgot this movie is atrocious.
Oh, dude,
Terrible movie.
Seth, this reminds me of a memory we have at the Lockhaven house.
Mhm.
Do you remember what movie based on a video game we watched in that house?
No. Mortal Kombat? We
No,
watched Mortal Kombat? No, I don't know.
no.
What was it?
That movie that was based on Yakuza?
Oh, I fell asleep during. Yeah, I fell asleep during that. Yeah, I remember that now.
that it was such a fucking random movie.
Yeah, I do remember that now because I had to go to like some weird service to even rent
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that. We're just sitting on the fucking couch watching this movie. And I hear just snoring. Like, oh man,
yeah, he's done. He's out.
he's done. He's put a fork in him. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we're getting beat over the head with these movies, and if done right, it can be really great. Like Sonic, for example, I think they've done a really really good job. The movie revitalized that character, and then they killed them.
Yeah,
Just, yeah,
amazing.
I think that like so it can do wonders, but then it could also fucking crash and burn like poor Ratchet and Clank. Like what the fuck, man?
I The crazy thing about the Ratchet and Clank movie is that the video game just used cutscenes from the movie. And it was like super obvious that they did that but once again, the video game is leagues better, man. Leagues better. I mean,
And you
come
know what's
on.
crazy? I thought that movie was gonna blow up because like the characters are so lovable. Like who doesn't love Ratchet? Who doesn't love Clank? Who doesn't think Captain Quark's funny? Like I'm like, how did this movie fucking just flop? Like what happened?
I don't know. I just want this trend to die out of Hollywood grasping at like anything that they can suck away. Just die already. Like I'm sick of it, man. I don't need like listen, I'm glad the Mario movie is good. I am.
It's decent.
Mario didn't need a movie. You
No,
like
no, not at all. He was popular
you
enough. He
know,
didn't need that.
is it fun that we got like Chris Pratt and Jack
Yeah.
Black and that's fun, sure, okay. But like, did we need an Uncharted movie? No,
No,
we didn't. Come on,
no. I enjoyed the Uncharted movie though.
it's fine. It's
Like it's
whatever.
fine. It's a fine movie. But I like what Todd Holland is doing. He reminds me of like an old school actor from like the 50s. Like I only do Sony movies. That's it. I love
Maybe
that.
that is weird.
He's their guy.
I never put that together.
He's their
Little,
fucking guy.
definitely a little too young to be Nathan Drake, though. That's what I
Yeah,
thought
I
when I was
agree.
watching
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He wasn't like muscular enough.
It was weird because Mark Wahlberg, I feel like, is a great Nathan Drake.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Mark Wahlberg should be fucking Nathan Drake.
Yeah,
All
phenomenal
right.
Nathan Drake, but whatever.
Yeah,
It
now we'll
is what
make
it
him.
is.
We'll make him Sully. Uh, so now we're getting into a little bit of negative news, but Redfall, 30
What is going
frames,
on?
30 frames per second. So,
Unexcusable.
and there are people who run Game Pass on their fucking souped up PCs, and you're gonna fucking insult them with fucking 30 frames per second.
Yeah, the fact that it's not even an option to turn on like anything above 30. That
like,
it's insane.
are you kidding me?
I don't know how this is possible.
Is it
I
because it's
really
on so many
don't.
different consoles?
It has to be, right? So, is this the co-op shooter?
Yeah,
The
and it's
only
from
thing I can
Arcane.
the only thing I can think for this is that they had to make it work for Series S, and because it's a co-op based game, they wanted the experience to be the same.
Which
Because I
fair.
cannot understand how this works. The game is not like a visually blessed game.
No,
So
not at
I
all.
don't know
Not at
what's
all.
going on.
Uh, so this generation, I feel the most is marred by cross gen,
Yeah,
and maybe we can blame the pandemic or whatever it is, but I feel like there is still no reason to own next gen consoles right now.
I agree.
And
I agree.
this game coming out at 30 frames just because it's over a bunch of different SKUs, like at some point you got to force people, like, you know what, this will only be for PS5 Series X. That's it. Fuck off. If you have an Xbox One X, or if you're still rocking your PlayStation 4, there's plenty for you to fucking play. But if you want the new shit, you got to come here. And like this cross generation bullshit is fucking games up. It's like, remember what it did to Cyberpunk, like, or even like games like Hogwarts Legacy is like now like those SKUs just disappear. They're not even making them. I don't believe. Uh, and it's just, when's it stop? Like, when's it stop? Because as much as, like, even us who are like, we're big Trails game guys, right? We're excited for PS4 games. At the end of the day, we're excited for PS4 games, and it's 2023.
So here's what I don't understand though, Pedro, is that we had games running at 60 frames per second last gen,
Yeah,
and on Series S, it's not even at 4K, it's at 1440p, 30 frames per second.
right.
That tells me that there is an inherent flaw with Redfall somewhere. Like something is wrong here. And I don't understand how this happened. Because for a shooter especially, man, you can put a 30 frames per second RPG out there, JRPG, right? Persona
Yeah,
5 could run at 30 frames a second. I wouldn't give a shit. But for a shooter like Redfall, and just to be clear here, I was never going to play Redfall. I thought it looked really corny. Um, Especially like I thought that the character designs looked really stupid. And I was just like, okay, it's a vampire hunting game. It's like it's Left 4 Dead, but for vampires, right?
yeah.
But man, this is just seems like I just don't know what to say about this because let's be honest here. There was the discussion over whether Starfield was going to be 60 frames per second or not. If Redfall isn't reaching 60 frames per
There's
second,
no fucking chance in hell that fucking Starfield's gonna be 60 frames. No way. No way. I feel like Starfield. I don't have a good feeling about Starfield, and it sucks because I'm excited for Starfield.
yeah.
Like, to me, okay, so to me, like, that was a take the day off, fucking go balls deep in the Starfield, like, buy a
Mm-hmm.
Series S. I don't think I'm buying a Series X. I just don't think there's a reason for me to.
No,
But
I don't think so.
I think it's like, buy a Series S, go balls deep in the Starfield. Let's fucking get it. And now I'm just kind of like, I feel like if I buy this game day one, I'm gonna get kicked in the nuts.
Yeah, I agree. I think by them, and they, by the way, they announced this on their official Twitter page. Like they announced this. I don't know if they were trying to get ahead of the bad press, but that's not. This isn't politics. That's not how this works, right? Um, I don't. They announced this on their official Twitter page, like they were like proud of it, and they were like, "Oh, 60 performance will be added at a game update at a later date." Well, so what you're essentially saying is that people who buy your game upfront are going to get a very subpar like
Yeah, like
product.
why should I give you my money day one? Like, thank God this is
Yeah,
on Game Pass where I don't have to give you money. Well, I guess I do, but like not like
yeah.
$60. But like that, it just and it goes through the tried and true argument. Like, at what point, if you can't deliver the game in a quality state, right,
Hmm.
in the state that you want it, just fucking don't put it out. Like, don't put it out. I've grown tired of the update and the patching. I'm so tired of it. And the reason I say that, as much as we knock Nintendo 9 times out of 10, when their games come out, they just fucking work.
So it looks like this game is going to be pretty bad because I'm reading a PC Gamer breakdown of Redfall, and from PC Gamer they said our pre-release impressions of Redfall weren't great either. We called it a sad stumble from Arcane in our March preview with limp combat and a lifeless world, and very little that appeared to be interesting in any way.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yikes!
That's not good. Well, and here's the thing: like, this is, I wouldn't call it the first step from, like, I don't know if they said first step, but it's the second stumble. A lot of people didn't really like. I've heard mixed reviews on Deathloop,
Yeah, that's true.
and Deathloop had that weird, stupid fucking mechanic where like there's somebody always chasing you and somebody can go into your game.
Mhm.
So like Arcane, I'm hoping they start learning a lesson here, because and maybe this is just what happens to studios that make like masterpieces and then they have to continue making games. Because Prey is a masterpiece. I fucking love Prey. Prey is a fucking great game. Probably one of the greatest games they've ever made. Dishonored, that great series. But after that, like, definitely, what are we doing? I feel like Arcane lost its identity there.
So their credits go Arx Fatalis in 2002, and then
Uh,
2006 they had Dark Messiah of Might and Magic.
yeah, I don't know
In
that.
2009 they had an iOS game called Karma Star, and then they hit the mainstream in 2012 with Dishonored,
Yeah, it's a
2016
great game.
Dishonored 2,
Great game.
2017 Prey and
Fucking
Dishonored Death of
phenomenal
the
game.
Outsider,
That's a phenomenal DLC.
2019 Wolfenstein Youngblood, Wolfenstein Cyberpilot also in 2019. And then 2021 we have Deathloop and then Redfall. Now people didn't like Youngblood, did they? That was the one that
No,
people didn't like.
yeah, people didn't like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I mean, they. I personally was not a Dishonored fan because I don't like stealth. But I could play Dishonored and I could see like the high quality. I'd be like, okay, well, if I was into stealth, I would love this.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with Redfall. And also, by the way, another Xbox game that is
that's
like a
a
mess.
fucking turd. Like, what the
It's a
fuck?
mess.
And I know they say this on like Sacred Symbols and bigger podcasts, but what is going on at Microsoft? Like, what is going on?
I don't know. I have no idea. And like it just seems like everything they're putting out is just an absolute mess. And it seems like they're the sole purpose of them buying studios is just so that they don't come out on Sony, like to cripple Sony. And I didn't think that before, but the fact that they're not making really many games
Yeah, they're
is
not making anything in house really at all.
well, they're not making games, and the things they are pushing out are kind of having issues. So now I'm starting to wonder. I'm like, well, maybe they don't give a shit, and maybe they just are buying things so that Sony can't have them. You know, I don't know.
I think I think they're just rushing stuff out. I think a directive came out that these games need to be done by these milestones, and clearly a lot of these games still need more time and they're undercooked. And I think Microsoft's like, nope, put it out just to have something. That's what I think they're rushing these games out.
Let me see here. All right, dude, this is gonna be shocking. All right, so it is. What is it? It is 4:13. All right, so let's start. Let's start with May 5th, 2020. These are the games that Microsoft has published since May 5th, 2020. So 3 years ago, right? That was Forza Street. Then Minecraft Dungeons, The Bard's Tale remastered, Minecraft Education Edition, Flight Simulator, Battletoads, Tell Me Why, Age of Empires 3, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Gears Tactics, Ori, Sea of Thieves for Xbox Series X and S, Master Chief Collection, State of Decay 2. I'm going to skip a couple here because they're not even clickable links. Microsoft Flight Simulator again, Psychonauts 2, Age of Empires 4, Forza 5, Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite, As Dusk Falls, Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels, Grounded, Pentiment,
Oh, that's decent.
GoldenEye, Age of Empires 2, Minecraft Legends.
Yeah, not great.
That's it. In 3 years, that's it. I would say the only games on that list that you could consider like big heavy hitters are Forza Horizon 4, 5, and Gears 5, and Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
But Halo Infinite kind of died with a turd.
Yeah, they fucked up Halo Infinite.
In 3 years, that's it. Psychonauts 2 came and went like a fart in the wind, right?
Yeah,
Ori and the Blind Forest is great, but no one
small
plays
game.
it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. No one even talked about that game. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. It's weird. It's like they like I said they bought things and they're like, well, we'll just fucking let them do whatever they want. Now,
Yeah,
does every
I don't
game
disagree. I just like what is going on.
does every game need to be a huge game? No, but
No.
when you compare this list to like Sony published games, let me look at the list of Sony published games since like 3 years ago. It's probably going to be a massive difference. Their list isn't like a completely different. All right, so we'll start here in 2020. We'll start with Neo 2. Actually, we'll start a little bit there. MLB The Show 20, Neo 2, Predator Hunting Grounds, Sackboy Big Adventure, The Last of Us Part 2, Patapon 2 Remastered, Marvel's Iron Man VR, Call of Duty Vanguard. Apparently, they had they published Call of Duty Vanguard in Japan. That's interesting.
Oh, that makes sense.
Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, MLB The Show 21, Ghost of Tsushima Legends, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden Wests, MLB The Show 22. And they had a giant classics catalog, which included a ton of games. And then so far in 2023, we've got MLB The Show 23. And those games are much bigger heavy hitters than Xbox. And I just don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't I don't understand what's going on at Microsoft. I feel like it's a big misuse of assets, to be completely honest, and it's gonna eventually bite them. Where like when I see a game produced by Microsoft or developed by Microsoft, I don't think it's gonna be a quality game.
Well, and it sucks too, dude, because they have games that they're sitting on that I am dying to play. Like the Fable remake, Avowed, The Outer Worlds 2. And it's just like, what is going on? Release some fucking games. Do something. Fuck.
Yeah. It's dark times for X fans right now. Dark times. And I know like people like are trying to get hype for Redfall and they're trying to get hype for Avowed and shit like that. And like I be hype, but like I also don't have a lot of confidence right now. Like I just don't have a lot of confidence right now. So here's something interesting.
Okay.
Quick, speaking of Game Pass and studios that are underrated. Quantum Break apparently is coming back.
Okay. Yeah, it left Game Pass for a licensing issue. Now it's coming back.
So here's something interesting. I wonder what the licensing issue was, because Quantum Break is it's a unique game where you play chapters and there's like a little episode you got to watch, like a little TV show that's like also connected to the game, and then you go back into the game world. And the dude, I forget his name, he played Iceman. He was Iceman in the X-Men movies, but I can't remember his actual name.
Oh, I don't remember his name either. I can actually see his face. The blonde,
yeah,
the frosted tips guy.
Yeah, he and I thought he did a good job. Like, I don't know, I enjoyed his character. But Quantum Break is about time travel, and I don't know. I thought they did a really good job. It didn't review all that great. I think it got like six to sevens, like middling scores. But it was one of the first exclusives I played when I got my One X, and
Hmm.
I loved the game. I thought graphically it was really good. I thought gameplay wise it was real good, uh, and it really playing that and then playing Control really made me fall in love with Remedy, and then Remedy Remedy fucked us with Crossfire X or whatever the fuck that was.
What do you mean Crossfire
That it was
X?
that shooter that they did.
Oh my god, I forgot all about that game.
That's how
Yeah,
bad it was. I think it got taken off Game Pass at some point, but
yeah. Remedy, dude, it quickly became one of my favorite studios with Control, and I saw what they were building with Control, and I was like, this looks incredible. Um, and I remember playing the old Max Payne games back in the day, and I'm like,
yeah.
yes, this is good stuff. Um, but I will say they scare me. Remedy scares me because they are taking on way too many projects at one time, and I
Yeah.
don't really understand what they're thinking.
Well, and it's like
Right now they have Alan Wake 2 in production, Control 2, Condor, Max Payne and Max Payne 2 remakes, and Vanguard.
yeah. I don't know. So right now, I'm also concerned about Remedy, and because they're also one of my favorite studios. Like, I need to play the Alan Wake games, but or the remake of Alan Wake. But I will say that with Control and then Quantum Break, that's where I fell in love with them as a studio. But then, like I said, that misstep with Crossfire Catalog, where the fuck it was, that game
Mhm.
stinks. It stinks like a stinky third. And yeah, so I like, and if they're taking on that many projects, I just hope that they don't fuck them up, because like if they fuck up an Alan Wake game, that's probably the kiss of death if they fuck up either Control or Alan Wake.
Mhm.
I don't think they will, but that'll probably be the end.
Dude, Control, I played. I forget. I don't even know why I played it, but I played it on a whim a couple years ago, just like
Mhm.
randomly. I'm out of my Steam library, and I didn't like it at first. The first couple hours of Control, I was like, "This is kind of weird," and like the narrative doesn't make any sense. But by the end of that game, dude, I was all in. I loved Control, and it
Yeah.
is about as close to playing as like a Jedi Knight as you can possibly imagine. And the story was like so dark and interesting in that
Yeah.
world with the objects was so
Mhm.
cool. I was all about Control.
And I loved Control. I played it on my One X. I need to play the DLC. I just never got back to it.
Mhm.
I don't know. I get done with my fucking Trails deep dive, I feel like I'm gonna get my backlog some love here shortly. But
That's what I keep telling myself too. I'm like, whenever I get done with these Trails games, I'll be able to take a break and jump into something else.
yeah, so I don't know. Keep you on the lookout for Quantum Break. I recommend it. It's got my seal of approval. I love that game.
I'm gonna give it a
So
shot.
yeah, and again, it's on Game Pass, so there's really no excuse. Uh, are you familiar with Samurai Showdown?
No.
Okay, so Samurai Showdown is a SNK fighting series similar to Fatal Fury or King of Fighters in that ilk.
Mhm.
Um, it randomly had a JRPG on the Neo Geo CD, so we're talking like obscure of the obscure.
Oh my god.
So this game is currently being translated
Uh,
for
a fan translation
yeah,
or
fan translation.
okay.
So it got me thinking. Uh, how do we feel about fan translations? Like, what's your opinion?
I like them. I like I mean, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on fan translations, I guess. My only opinion came from when NIS shut down the fan translations of Trails, which I thought was weird. But um yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. If these companies aren't willing to do it, then the people are gonna do it. You know, you're either gonna get a fan to translate it or people are gonna use their phones to translate it or something is gonna
No,
happen, you
don't
know.
ever use your phone. Don't ever do that.
Didn't work.
it does.
You tried
It doesn't work well.
it?
Because I tried that with Trails in the Reverie. I'm like, ugh, nope, we're out.
Well, to be fair,
Um,
I think it would probably work something more of an Anglo-Saxon language.
Yeah.
Japanese is very hard to translate directly to English because the concepts are so different. And the actual like sentence structure is completely backwards. So it's hard for like I think like a robot to translate that.
Yeah, so I have a certain opinion about translations. Not we're gonna spend a ton of time on this, but I I used to like them a lot. Where okay, like oh, this is cool that they're translating this, but then we started getting stupid, and I fell into this category too, where like certain games will get or that are already in English will get translated for in the English for like random systems. So like a game like Lunar, like there's like oh we did a fan translation for the Saturn. I'm like oh yeah I'm in. I'm like wait why didn't you just play the PS1 version? Like why'd you buy the Saturn one? Why? So like there's certain things like, and the reason I bring this up is because like I pulled a list from Reddit that like certain things that are fully playable because the Saturn gets like probably the most fan translations out of any console,
Mm-hmm.
which is random, but whatever.
The fans refuse to give up.
So I'm just gonna read you this list, and I just want you to tell me what doesn't make sense. And obviously, there's gonna be games you didn't hear, never heard of, but there are gonna be some games that you definitely have heard of. So, all right, Castlevania Symphony of the Night translated for the Saturn.
That's weird. Okay.
Right, Grandia,
Okay. Also
Ogre
weird.
Battle, Shining Force 3,
Okay. Makes
Tactics
sense.
Ogre,
Okay.
Vandal Hearts,
Okay.
and we have Police Knots, Drift King, Phantasmagoria, and then the Sakura Wars games. So then, playable and ongoing projects. Ancient East Vanished Omen, so East Book 1.
Oh. Didn't they remake East one? They call it East Origins. Wasn't that what that was?
Yeah, no. Actually, so East Origins is like a prequel.
Oh, okay.
So they remade Book 1 and 2. It's like East Book Chronicles or some shit. It's on the Steam. It's on Steam. But then they did Lunar for the Saturn. They're doing Lunar 2 for the Saturn. And then they're doing Saturn Bomberman Fight. So the reason I bring this up, like some of these translations aren't needed. Like like translate shit that we didn't get. Like translate more Far East of Eden. Translate the fucking 3 Legend of Heroes games that are on Saturn. Like give me that. Don't
Yeah.
give me this fucking. Don't give me what I already have.
We already have professionally translated games, especially like with Grandia.
Yeah,
Why are you translating,
for
a
the Saturn,
massive
it's stupid.
JRPG? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's dumb.
Like whatever.
So so this like ties into my problem with fucking like retro people sometimes where um that we waste our energy on stupid shit. And then some of these like we're translating Fire Pro Wrestling. Why? Let's be real, these games aren't that great. They're not that great. They have fun match options. Oh, they're like 2D fighters. Oh, you could put a death match or a cage match or like some certain shit in the retro community. I don't understand the like obsession with.
But listen, you know who these were, Pedro? These were
What?
the fucking Sega kids who
Yeah.
never let go, and they never accepted defeat. And now they're sitting here on the front lines being like, "No, we're still playing the Sega Saturn. This game, the system's awesome, and we love it."
Listen,
Let's go.
I'm with them. I love the system. I still have mine. I play it every once in a while. Like I'm still whenever I get the rest of my shit back. I'm gonna finish Dragon Force on it. Like there's the games I want to play, but like I'm also not disillusioned to be like we need to continue to fucking translate all these games. Like if you're gonna translate JRPGs, translate the one that we never have. Don't give me ports. Don't do that. So that's
You
all
know,
I'm gonna say.
you know what
Like
this
give me
reminds me of?
what?
I was editing the podcast from last week, and I was listening to our segment about JRPG franchises ranked.
Yeah.
And did you know we had 5 JRPG franchises, right? We had like Final
Uh,
Fantasy,
yeah.
Trails, Tales,
Uh-huh.
Persona, Shin Megami,
Yeah.
and Star Ocean, right?
Uh-huh.
And we didn't fucking have Dragon Quest on there.
I don't
Some
think we're Dragon Quest fans.
We're not, but we're also not really Star Ocean fans either. I mean, like, they're like, arguably, like we each liked one game in that franchise. And Dragon Quest is a much more big franchise. I mean, like some asshole's gonna listen to that and be like,
These guys are fucking idiots.
these fucking guys. All right.
Yeah, I don't know how we did that. Star Ocean got in there. Oh shit. Yeah, don't mind us. We're fucking idiots. So speaking of idiots, do we feel Rocksteady is playing this smart
With the Suicide
with
Squad?
Suicide Squad? Yeah, because I already feel like the bad PR is there. The stinky PR is there. Now you could definitely have a comeback.
Uh,
Like we've seen games, come back. Like Cyberpunk made a famous comeback, and they, I
yeah.
guess more or less have cleaned up the bad reputation. What is that? No Man's Sky cleaned up its reputation. So like it can happen, but like, is the damage already done?
No. I would say that it can't get any worse than it is right now. So you saw what's going on, and you saw that the community hated your game, and you're like, this was a mistake. Let's take a step back. We're gonna pull the curtains back a little bit, close it up, go back to work for a bit for a year. Let's get this turd a little polish. All right, people not accepting of that. Let's try again.
I just wonder what the reaction to the board, like their planning rooms are like. Yeah, let's pull it. Because sometimes you see like they celebrate when like trailers go live or like
Mm-hmm.
gameplay, like yeah, and then the response is like, oh shit.
Like, well, all right, let's try this a different way. Because they're already in so financially committed, that um, if this is a flop, it's going to be a massive deal. And with bad PR like this, I mean, the video game machine is all based on sales of PR.
Yeah,
So if I mean these companies know they spent millions of dollars on research. They know that when there's a bad opinion of a video game online, it directly affects sales. So I don't think Suicide Squad would have sold very well. And if it did, it would have reviewed terrible. And then people would have saw the
yeah,
reviews and not bought it. And
right.
whatever it was, the Avengers syndrome, which is officially dead now, by the way.
Love it.
Um, so they probably saw Avengers flop. They probably saw Anthem flop, and they were like, okay, the community hates this out of the gate before it's even released. Let's at least regain some money. It may not be the massive live service game we're gonna get, but let's regain some money from it. Probably
Yeah,
still make a profit, by the way, if it's a good game. So I think this is a smart move. I think, if this game comes out and re-reveals itself in 9 months and it looks really good, I'll change my opinion on it. Maybe I'll play it, but like I'm not playing a live service game, especially a comic book game, dude. I
no,
already I already hate comic books enough as it is right now. So like if you give me anything that I dislike, I'm just gonna throw up immediately. So
so it hurts me to see you so broken about the comic book industry. They've turned your love into hatred. They
they
ruined
have,
what
dude.
you love.
They have completely ruined it, and like I'm so apathetic towards anything when it comes to like superheroes these days. I have no, like, listen, dude, Spider-Man 2 is coming out this year.
You're not about it.
No, I'm not gonna buy. I like at this point my hype level is at zero. I'm
Yeah.
not into it at all. Um,
Speaking of which, you see they're taking Spider-Man off the PlayStation service.
no, I didn't see that. That's
Yeah,
weird.
it's leaving.
Why? Did they say why?
No, there's a little
That's
weird.
very weird. Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're definitely very apathetic to superhero anything, and it's just, like maybe 10 years ago, you were not like that. You were just
No,
so
I was
vibrant, full of life, full of hope.
even 5 years ago, dude. I was like all about it. Even 3 years ago, right? Like
Mm.
I always say that like I was doomed to hate Miles Morales by God, right? Because I started up that Miles Morales expansion for the PS4 Spider-Man game, which I loved.
Yeah.
And I got like halfway through it. I was gonna play it all in one night. I got halfway through it and I was really enjoying it. That's when I got the call that mom was dead.
Ah, damn.
So I came back and finished
Mm.
Miles Morales in complete shock. Don't remember the whole second
Mm.
half of the game, except that I thought the Tinkerer twist was stupid. And
Mm.
I was like, yep,
Yeah.
I guess you know what? There's no redemption for me in Miles Morales. It's over.
Yeah. Um.
Yep.
Yeah. That. Yeah. That's gonna leave a sour taste in your mouth. That's definitely
Yep.
one of the sourest lemons you could. That
But
sucks.
also,
That's always gonna be associated with that character. Like that. Fucking. Oh, I saw. I'm sorry, buddy.
also like it's fine. I also like I already disliked the comic book version of Miles Morales so much,
Yeah.
and it just for the last 10 years, dude, it's been just pushed down my throat over and over again, and everyone's been questioning why I dislike Miles Morales for these last 10 years. I've had to explain the same conversation to people who are lesser informed of Spider-Man than I am, by the way, and wouldn't listen to me. I had to explain to them over and over and over again why I dislike that character. And then the movie comes out, right? And then like the movie's based on this awful comic event that came out 3 years prior that was like absolutely terrible
Are you talking
at
about
the
Into
nth
the
time.
Spider Verse?
The movie's called Into the Spider Verse. The
Okay.
comic book series was called the Spider Verse, and
Okay.
it's what introduced Spider Gwen or Ghost Spider, as she's
Yeah.
known, and like all these other Spider Man, and you know, and it's just like, and that was a sequel to an event that happened 15 years earlier called The Other, and that was a comic book that I loved as a kid. And then they bastardized it with Spider Verse, and then once Spider Verse came out, dude, there was no more Spider Man. Everything, because it was so marketable, was Spider Verse. So
Yeah.
that's why we got into the Spider Verse. That's
Yeah.
why we got the Spider Man third movie was different Spider Man,
Hmm.
and it's like everything is now Spider Verse,
Yeah.
and it's just exhausting. And what I realized was Spider Man was my tether to Marvel Comics, right? That was my tether. That's why I read all the crossover series. I would read his crossover with like Miss Marvel, and I'd be like, okay, Miss Marvel's a cool character. He was in part of the Avengers, and he was in Avengers crossovers. And I'd read the Avengers books. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can follow this story now. And they got me. They got me into the machine. Then they kicked me right in the teeth over and over again, and I was out. I'm done. And in the same way, Batman was my tether to DC Comics in a lesser way, because
Mm.
I think a lot of DC Comics don't work well. Um, but I can still handle Batman in small
Yeah.
doses. Like I thought the new Batman movie was super cool. Um,
I'm excited to see what they do with that because I've heard some rumors, none substantiated, but like they're thinking about doing Professor Pig. I heard Calendar Man is a candidate
yeah,
for being, which I think if they the way they did the Riddler, if they can do Calendar Man, like could you imagine they fucking do a good Calendar Man?
I know,
Like
it's ridiculous.
what the avenues that opens for Batman movies, like we could be fucking in for some great stuff. Because like if they
Yeah,
did fucking Calendar Man good, then fucking Professor Pig would be done well, and some of the or Victor Zaz, like some of the other characters like Batman Hush, they could probably do. Oh,
I used to read Hush yearly,
I'm
but
getting an
see,
erection.
but here's the thing, man, is that these characters have been stuck in the 80s,
Yeah.
arguably 90s, depending on where you fall on the development of Spider-Man and Batman. And the editorial staff has refused to allow them to grow and to move on in their stories. And every time those characters start to go somewhere, it gets stricken down. Um, and it's like a disgusting behavior, I think, and especially in Batman a few years ago, he was going to get married to Catwoman, and then at the last second, editorial got cold feet and pulled the rug out from the writer. Same thing happened to Nick Spencer on Amazing Spider-Man a couple of years ago. He was going to undo the One More Day fiasco from Spider-Man like 15 years ago
Mhm.
and get Peter Parker and Mary Jane back together. Pulled the rug out from him, um, and it's just like I don't have any reason. I don't need to see Spider-Man fight Doc Ock for the 15th time.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't need to see him fight the Vulture. I don't need to see him fight the Rhino.
Like we've
Like
seen this.
we've seen this over and over and over again. We're talking about Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 15, right? Like this happens. And we don't need to see it anymore. And that's just kind of how that's like why I don't like it anymore. I'm over it.
I get.
Um
Yeah.
so it is what it is.
Yeah. So Marvel, you've hurt a sweet baby boy. He's on a villain arc now. Good job.
I'm on a villain arc. I will burn Marvel Comics to the ground Hear me.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Like I was when we were leaving work the other day, I was telling my buddy, we're into movies and nerd shit, and I was saying like at after this wave of Marvel movies, like I'm already too invested. Like I'm not gonna stop watching it because I already fucking watched half this shit. So I'm gonna see how it ends. Like I will see how it ends, but then like I'm done. Like so, this
Yeah.
phase five phase, I think I'm done after phase five. We may not even get to six. So like I said, I think I might be done after this wave. And then with DC after the Flash movie, I'm probably done
Well,
with their
Phase
movies.
Five.
And it's like phase five. I think we're going to like the Thunderbolts. I think that's going to be the big movie, or I forget what the fuck. There's going to be an Avengers movie again. I think, or that might be phase six, but I could be wrong.
They have
But
all the way up to Phase 8 announced. Oh my god.
get the wool. Yeah, see, I'm out after this probably.
Phase 8,
Well,
2031 to 2033.
yeah, dude, we'll be in our fucking 40s. Like, fuck off.
That's awesome. No,
I'm out after this phase. Yeah,
we just started Phase 5.
yeah. So I think once this is done, I'm done. Like, because I think they're gonna lead to a movie where they fight Kang, even though Jonathan Majors they might go to jail. But yeah, so I think I'm out on that. And then like with DC, like after the Flash movie, unless it's a sequel to the Batman, and then I'm gonna watch Joker too. I'm out on DC movies. So yeah, we're leading to the end, buddy, for me.
The weird thing is that they're just adapting comic book series. They're not making anything new. And I
Yeah.
think that's really odd because like they're doing like Young Avengers,
Yeah, I don't want to see that. Like, I don't give a fuck about that.
Dark Avengers, that's weird. That's A Force. This is stuff that like never even took off in the comic book world.
Yeah, because they're running out of material.
Well, like Young Avengers, A Force.
Like, who gives a fuck
This
about any of that?
this was like the original diversity push from the early 2000s that
Mhm.
Marvel had, and they wasn't as egregious as it got in like the later 2010s, I'd say. But these comics were like massive failures. I think Young Avengers is actually a good comic, but
Just not into it.
like there's like an original 25 episode or 25 issue run of Young Avengers that I think is good that I read recently actually, and I thought it was pretty fun, but it was a massive failure. It never went anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, like going back to the original topic, I don't know. To me, unless there's gonna have to be some drastic change to get me hooked into the Suicide Squad game. I don't really like the Suicide Squad to begin with. So to me, the damage is done right now. To me, the damage is done. Like this game came out, like or that came out, like the gameplay came out. Uh, wasn't really feeling it. I think the premise is whatever. I don't know. There's some fan servicey stuff they did. They're gonna have to show me a lot, and then like I already have a sour taste in my mouth from Arkham or not Arkham, Gotham Knights, which I didn't like that either. So like I just feel like that whole DC games right now are just like we're good. Like we're good.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to Spider-Man though.
I I don't know. As far as the original topic of them coming back to Suicide Squad, first off, I don't understand the Suicide Squad thing at all anyway, because no one's ever liked the Suicide Squad. They only liked Margot Robbie, but I think I went on this rant already.
Yeah, you did.
Um, but if it's a fun game, I'll play it. Like I'm not opposed to playing a game that's a Suicide Squad game because it is what it's going to be just like a regular action game. But I'm not going to play a live service game. So
No.
if they go back to the workshop, tune it out. And first off, Marty Sleva posted today that he doesn't think 8 months is long enough to change a live service game into a single player game.
Yeah.
And I told him that I disagreed with him because I really do. Um, all they have to do is carve out the live service element and add a loot system, like a real loot system to the game.
Yeah.
That does not take that long. We're not redesigning assets. We're not
Right.
changing animations. We're not doing this is all programming work. The big budget stuff is over still. This is
Yeah.
all programming work. We're not redesigning the entire like structure of the game and as far as like the story and the action and the gameplay. This is just UI stuff pretty much.
Correct.
And he's wrong about this.
And you know what? Whatever, Marty. Go back to fucking being a barista and banging your coworkers. Like, shut up, dude.
Whoa.
Dude, I don't
Hey,
like him.
really?
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
I don't. I don't know. Um, I don't know what happened at IGN. I've only heard the rumors.
I don't even. I wasn't even talking about that. Like, I just like. I know he's like open and talked about like before he even went to IGN. He's like, yeah, I almost got fired from my job as a barista. I got caught having sex in the back room, sleeping with all my coworkers. Like, dude, shut up. Like he's that
Yeah,
dude. He's like that dude in college you met that like was a little pretentious and no one really liked, but like they kept inviting him around. Like I don't really I'm not I've never been a big Marty Sleva guy. He was always that fucking guy who like people would be talking about, oh, what are you playing? What are you playing? He's always like making sure that everything he played was like a fucking indie game that had this great diverse story. Like I just do not like him. He's like
I never got that vibe from him, but I haven't listened to him in like 10 years.
yeah.
But what I will say is that weird thing where he just disappeared from IGN and no one talked about it.
Yeah.
Pretty sus. Because IGN employees were so quick to
To like fucking put everyone on blast. Yeah.
to
Like
put everyone on blast that it makes me feel like there was some inside conspiracy thing going on with IGN with a lot of
I
people
don't know.
involved.
I just never liked him. But then again, this is probably why I couldn't live in San Francisco. It's because of Marty Sleva. Like I feel like everyone's
Yeah.
just like that.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
yeah, not yeah. So Marty Sleva, not I'm not a fan. You do not have a fan here. See me in the ring.
And yeah, in fact, Pedro's calling you officially in a boxing match.
I would so box him, like for the record.
Really?
Yeah,
It's so funny to me that like this is your guy. This is your guy.
yeah,
Because like
yeah,
for me, this is Tim Geddes. I hate Tim Geddes.
yeah. I just do not. You know, kudos to you for making a career. I'm not going to sit there and make your money. I get you, but like I don't personally like you. So there's that. You heard it here first, folks.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine he's making much money at The Escapist.
Whatever. I like I said, I just do not like his vibe. I feel like I don't want to say something like slanderous. I'm basing it off of things he said and his Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and like he was always like, "Oh, look at me, I'm drinking again. I'm at this little coffee shop having a whiskey." And all like I just do not like him. I do not like his vibe. He probably wears cardigans a lot, and that probably like I just do not like him. Not a fan. Not
I
a
love
fan
it.
of Marty Sleva. Go back to being a barista. Moving on. So U.S. military documents leaked via Minecraft Discord server.
Yeah, dude.
What? What the?
Yeah.
Please enlighten me on this.
So this is amazing, dude. Because hold on, let me look it up. Military documents leaked Discord. Okay, I just want to make sure I get all the facts here. So the government was wondering how all these Ukrainian war documents were being leaked, and they thought they had someone blackmailed inside the government or whatever. Um, and they were like doing a huge investigation. Well, it wasn't. What it was this IT guy that worked in the military that had access to all this information, and he was just searching for clout on a fucking Minecraft server, dude.
What a
And
fucking idiot!
and I just don't know what to say. Because these stupid idiots that are like 90 years old in our government, right, have no idea how technology works. And they looked at this kid who is on Discord all day talking to his fucking kittens or whatever. And they're like, you know what? Let's give this guy all the secure information to our government, right? So they were having and like they opened this Discord server up, I guess, and it was like a massive amount of like racist like memes or whatever, like whatever, like there's all kind there's this private stuff, just all these like idiotic things. And this kid he didn't do it for any like organization, he didn't do this for any reason, he just did it to be funny and for clout.
So my man
And
went rogue.
yeah, essentially just to be an idiot. Um, yeah, his name was Jack Tykestera. He was 21 years old,
Was did
and
they kill him? You see?
Nope. Let me see here.
You keep saying was. I'm like, is this because they fucking off this dude?
No, but he was arrested. So
Oh
FBI
shit.
agents clad in body armor and carrying rifles swept across the Texteria family home in Dayton, Massachusetts on Thursday, arresting
Oh no.
Teixeira and charging him with unauthorized removal of classified national defense information.
Oh no.
Yep.
Surprised they didn't put a fucking black bag over his head and throw him in a van and fucking never
The,
see him, never hear from him again.
the
Dead.
leak, probably the largest military leak in at least a decade, revealed secrets about everything from gaps in Ukrainian air defenses to the specifics of how the United States spies on allies and partners. Oh my god, dude.
Oh no.
Teixeira, who used the online handles that include Jack the Dripper
Oh
and
wow. I love it.
Excalibur effect, dude. This dude's the
Love it.
biggest nerd.
Love it.
Posted the images to Discord, a chat platform popular with gamers. Yeah, we already know. The Washington Post video of Teixeira shouting racist and anti-Semitic slurs before firing a rifle.
Love it. Now this kid worked for the government, or he just found this?
No, he was in the Air Force and he was an IT guy.
Oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
dude, he might get that's definitely gonna get a court martial. Like he fucked up.
I'm sorry, no. A news Massachusetts Air National Guard. Okay, so no, he was National Guard.
Yeah, he fucked up. He's in the military. He fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just fucked up.
It says the crisis blindsided the Pentagon, which did not become aware until last week that the secrets had been online and forced the Biden administration to have awkward conversations with allies and partners about explosive issues.
Oh fuck! How did they find this? How did they know he leaked it?
It just says the FBI did not descend on the Teixeira home until after the Post revealed numerous details about the still anonymous leaker on Wednesday night.
Wow. Yeah, he's fucked. Because if he's in the
he's gonna
military, so he's gonna get a military tribunal. Like he's fucked.
He's gonna be in jail probably for the rest of his
Dude,
life.
they're probably gonna charge him with treason.
Something. I mean,
he'll probably take a deal, but like if he doesn't, he's probably gonna get charged with treason and like that. You can get the death penalty for that.
yeah. I mean, his life is over no matter what.
Yeah, dude, he's gonna be like in a black site prison. That's gonna be this fucking nerd.
I just don't understand how he didn't see this coming. Like this kid's
a dumbass.
This kid's a straight idiot, and he just I don't know. I don't even know how to handle this. Like I don't even know what to say about it.
That is stunning. Like you're leaking government secrets. You're on a Minecraft server, like Minecraft.
This kid also looks like the biggest nerd I've ever seen in my life, too.
Yeah, he's gonna be in a black site prison, and they're like, people when like new hires come in, they're gonna be like touring and getting in love with all the inmates. Are like, this is one of the biggest traitors in U.S. history. This fucking nerd. Like,
yeah,
what'd you do? Oh, I fucking.
His dad probably beat his ass too. They probably left him in a room. They probably left him in a room with his dad right before they arrested him because it says his stepfather he retired after a 34-year military career as a master sergeant.
Oh, like after this happened, his dad retired, or his dad retired like before?
No,
that?
previously.
But God, that is so embarrassing.
We're like, boy, I'm gonna beat your ass.
I'm gonna beat the family name out of you. Like you're fucking like we don't claim him.
Oh my God.
Wow, that is fucked. That. So any of the other government employees who are also nerds, don't be fucking leaking documents on your fucking Minecraft server like an idiot. Oh, that might be the greatest news
I just don't understand. I like this kid's so stupid, dude. He may as well have just like gotten the papers, right? Printed them out, went up to a high-rise building in the middle of Times Square and just thrown them out the window.
Yeah.
And be like, yep, here you go.
I can't wait for more of this stuff to come out. Like, there's got to be more details here. Like, what the fuck?
A Minecraft server, man.
Yeah, and he's gonna go to jail for like the rest of his life, probably.
Yep.
Like he's fucked. Like, what lawyer's touching that? Like, what lawyer? Like, dude, you're guilty as fuck. Like, what do you? So wow. So again,
it's so funny, dude. This is so funny because, the Washington Post is like trying to frame this around him being like a gun nut and whatnot. Like
Yeah, like they're
modern
trying to. Yeah.
modern news media is just like so ridiculous.
So they're trying to make him basically look like a right wing fucking
Like a
Trump
yeah,
guy.
like a country hating.
Yeah, that's fucked up. He's just an
He's
idiot.
fit.
Like
He's fit. He's strong. He's armed. He's trained. Shut up.
he's
This kid's the biggest
shut
nerd
the.
I've ever seen.
Yeah, this dude's a
He's
send me a picture of him. Like, is there a picture of him?
yeah. There's a great picture of him.
Yeah, send that to me because I need to get a set of eyes on this because like you got to be kidding me if they're gonna spin him as this like fucking killer who but he leaks stuff on a Minecraft server. Like no.
You
This is a
know?
nerd who happens to be a fucking idiot.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like this guy is just the biggest dumb dumb I've ever seen.
Yeah, like you can't be this dumb. Like you cannot be this dumb. And he's probably sitting in jail right now, like probably feeling sorry for himself. Like, what the fuck did I do? Like, you know what you did. Like, you know what you did. Like, you fucked up.
My Discord kittens are gonna move on without me.
Yeah, the fuck they are. I'm surprised they're not talking to like think about that. So like, does the FBI have to like depose everyone who viewed the fucking material? Because I'm sure it's traceable.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like I sent you the picture of him in his military graduation.
Yeah, this dude's a
On
fucking toothpick. This dude is a fucking he's fucking in shape and a killer. Shut up.
dude, wait until I see this one that they sent in the Washington Post article.
Yeah, he's fucking.
Like his suit doesn't even fit him.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, like I sent you another one. It's crazy. And, like I saw this.
This kid's a toothpick.
Yeah. Like I saw this story break and I'm like, this is the most insane thing I think I've ever heard. But now you know what's going to happen is they're probably going to subpoena like the owners of Discord, right?
I
Just
love
like they did
that. Yep.
TikTok, and they're going to have to like go through all this information about Discord. They're going to have to be like, well, no, like technically this is just like a chat room.
Yeah.
That and no, there's no moderation. It's a private chat. You'd have to get Facebook involved in their chats if this happened on their servers and stuff like that too. It's not Discord's fault. It's just the environment that Discord like is around, and it's all these losers that are on Discord all day.
Yeah, I
Crazy.
don't fucking know. That's wild. So again, a lesson to be learned here, people. If you work for governments or companies, don't be leaking stuff on Discord. It will get back to you. And yeah, just be smart. Don't do that. Like, just don't do that. Don't leak government secrets on Discord.
Also,
I feel.
Fun fact: Seth Slakehouse, famous Discord hater. Don't invite me to your fucking Discord ever.
You hate Discord?
I do. I fucking hate Discord, dude. Like,
why?
And I find Discord extremely useful for one specific purpose, right? And that's
Final
voice
Fantasy
chat.
14.
No, just voice chat. Listen. I didn't even get on Discord with my Final Fantasy 14 free company. I wanted to use the Discord to talk to people and voice chat while I'm playing games.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, somewhere along the lines, Discord evolved into this is like expected to be like the new text group chat. And like you're expected to be here all the time. And yeah, dude. That's the way it evolved. And now it's like it's like its own social media platform.
Why would I want to be in a chat room where hang on, so why would I be because like it's a voice chat room, right?
That's what it was originally, yeah, but it's more of a I would say Discord is more of a text chat room now that has voice capabilities. And yeah, people are just and then everyone wants you to join their Discord. Everyone.
Yeah,
and
it's too many Discords. Too many.
And then before you know it, you have 50 fucking Discords. This is why I don't like Slack either. Like when we were doing Frame Skip, we had our own Slack channel. But then why did we need a separate program to talk to each other?
Yeah, no.
Let's just have a text group chat.
Yeah, that's it. Like
get out of here.
Because I remember when I would join Discords, like, and what made me stop joining Discords was like my phone would just be vibrating constantly. Zip, 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 zip. I'm like, this is fucking infuriating.
And then when you mute them, they get mad and be like, "Well, why aren't you responding?"
Because like, dude, fuck that. Like,
I have a fucking life.
Because I used to be in the CLS Discord. I fucking laughed. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, it's like cool, like it's fun, but like, unless I can mute notifications, which I'm sure I can, but I'm not gonna sit there and take the time to be like, oh, let me fucking fiddle around with the settings. Like it's just too much.
Yeah.
As I get older, I want people to fucking be to contact me less on this fucking thing. Like I enjoy like unless I hear get unless I'm here from my buddy like you or Adam or anything like that, don't talk to me. You know what I mean? Like leave me alone
Yeah.
unless you need something. But like I don't want to be in a forum or a chat where I'm like just getting my phone blown up all day and it's annoying. Like that's why like I even don't really like Facebook much anymore. Because I used to be in like a bunch of like I stay on it for like collector groups and stuff like that, but there are times I used to log into Facebook, I had like 35 notifications, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm the same way. I mute notifications on pretty much everything. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to know of your presence until I want
Choose
to know
to.
of your presence.
Yes. Right. So that's us getting older. We're gonna be like back in my day. Oh my god. That's incredible. So lastly, but not least, we have our misconducts for the week. Short list. I didn't really see much that went on that particularly drew my ire, that drew my malaise, if you will, my malice. But I forgot to tell a story from ZenkaiCon, where I was talking to my buddy who we went with, and I was getting him like to look at some of the Gundam stuff, and he started watching Iron Blooded Orphans because
Okay.
it was recommended. Which again, as I said off air or off pod, whatever you want to call it, I like Iron Blooded Orphans. It's fun, it's dark. But then the guy goes like, "Oh, it's the best one. Don't watch like the UC stuff or Seed. It's like a big soap opera." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 buddy, pal, let's fucking talk here, chief."
Guy.
Yeah, like they're all robot dramas. Like they're all fucking dramas with robots.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, Seed is like sure you could make a case for Seed being a little angsty, but like the overall storyline of Seed is really fucking good.
Yeah, it was the reboot to Universal Century, just like Double
Yeah,
O was.
right. So, and some of the coolest Gundams are in Seed. Some of like, there's a lot of memorable stuff that happens in Seed, and we all can't be edge lords and just be iron blooded orphan guys. Like, which again, I love that show or that that run. Like, I like the run. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but don't sit here and act like it's the only good content for Gundam.
Right.
Like, don't be a fucking hater. Like, don't be that guy. And
Um.
this opens up a can of worms for me because like I feel like why is there gatekeeping in every fucking thing? That guy was a gatekeeper. He's gatekeeping.
I don't know.
There's
I hate
somebody
that.
who's like,
I hate that term because there's certain things that haven't been gate kept enough, right? Like the D&D communities haven't been gate kept enough. Now they're infiltrated by a whole bunch of bad actors. But
oh,
yeah, they got super fucking woke and shit. Now there's no races in
holy,
D&D and whatnot.
wait, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, you can't just sneak that by me. Whoa. Say that again.
Yeah. So like they got rid of like all like racial attributes in D&D. So now like you could have a dwarf that's as fast as an ogre and stuff like that, and like
Whoa.
yeah, it got really weird in the last 3 years. It sucks. I'm just not a fan of it.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to that like my brain physically hurts hearing. Like, hold on. So you could have a dwarf that's as fast as something that by like historically isn't fast.
Yeah, or like intelligence works the same way. Strength, you could have a gnome that's as strong as like an orc, um, because they felt like it was racist to have positive attributes or like negative attributes to races. I know. It's so dumb. I know. But I know. I listen. You're not listen like, and they also got rid of like race based negatives, like orcs, half orcs and orcs were viewed as being like very aggressive and primitive,
yeah,
but
they're kind of
people
dumb.
thought they were like black people. So that's what like
What?
that was actually going around like a thing. Like they thought orcs were like black coded, so they're not they're not like aggressive or like evil species anymore. I know. Despite the fact there's already black people in D&D, but they were like these orcs are black people. That's what they symbolize. And I know.
Who determines this?
Random people on Twitter, and then it gets taken off. It like fucking flies. You Twitter or Reddit, and it's one person's opinion, and then no one wants to disagree with it because they think they're gonna get called racist. So it just starts going, even though
But
people don't really believe these things. It just
but
takes off.
if he,
I know.
why was it associated with black people? Like, is that what that?
You tell me, and then you tell me how that's less racist
I feel like
than
that's
the
more
alternative.
racist.
That's what I'm saying. That's sorry. Yeah, exactly.
Like, because literally, when I think of an orc, I don't think of a black person. I don't really think of any
No
race. It's a
one
fucking
did,
orc.
dude. No one did. You know who did? A fucking racist. You thought they weren't.
Like, what? What?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
I don't
I
even
know.
know. What?
That created a whole cascading issue in D&D, and it really turned me off. And I was just like, this is so dumb. And then Magic the Gathering is going through their own thing, and they're owned by the same company, and it's a mess. It's a nightmare.
Oh wow. Okay. Give me a minute here. That's my I like physically feel pain in my like head right now. Like that.
I
Like
can't believe you didn't hear about this. Oh, and
no.
by the way, goblins are Jews. So,
But why? Because they like money.
I,
Oh, I should have said that. But, like, but
I don't,
what's
there was some goblin attributes that people were
like?
saying
Do
were
they
Jewish.
always run shops? Like what the fuck? Like
I don't know. I don't know, man.
well,
They
hold
attacked
on.
J.K. Rowling for the same thing. They said because they said the goblins were Jewish in code and they was anti-Semitic.
What? Oh wow.
Yep.
So we'll get back to the Gundam topic here in a minute, but um, so the state of tabletop RPGs is like a fucking mess. Then
Yeah, it is. It's a complete mess. Um, and like that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes gatekeeping is a good thing, right? Because once these fucking assholes got a hold of the tabletop gaming, they just took over and they just went deep with it. And I blame like Critical Role a lot for this because Critical Role took off, and then because it got so popular, like all these rejects of society were like, "This is my place now," you know, and they
yeah,
came in and they just took over. And now you have to have like session zeros for your D&D games where you
what's a session
have
zero?
it's where you lay out the game and everyone has
Yeah,
introduces their characters and whatnot. It's very common, but now you have to have like your consent. You're supposed to have like consenting things and the things that trigger you on at your session zero. Like,
what?
yeah, it's a
But hang
mess.
on. All right, so with Critical Role, like correct me if I'm wrong. They did Vox Machina, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
there an orc in there that's a fucking idiot?
yeah.
Or like the bard who's like a fucking dwarf who fucking slays dick? Like so what hold on. Like, I'm so this is like hard for me to process.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm not saying that Critical Role and Matthew Mercer were leading these events, right? That led to this, but I think because of Critical Role's popularity and exploded,
Yeah.
like I said, the rejects of society.
Okay.
I don't have to explain who they are. You already know. You're picturing them in your head, right?
You know who you are.
There's a lot of colors involved that they latched onto something and they were like, "This is ours now," like they did for everything else, like they did for comic books, for example. And it's like that's how these things happen. They took over, and now that they're in the Wizards of the Coast community, they're like moderators and whatever. They actually have tendrils in Wizards of the Coast. They're crumbling the company. Dungeons and Dragons is like in a bad spot right now as far as the tabletop wise goes. Now I think the movie was pretty successful, so I don't think
Yeah,
Hasbro's going to sell them off anytime soon. But yeah,
but
the it's just been it's been a mess.
so here's what's weird. So me hearing you say this,
Hmm.
when we played D&D, I never felt that D&D wasn't non-inclusive. Like when I was creating my character, I felt like I could make my character whatever I wanted.
Exactly.
My
It was
character
the
could have been a fucking lesbian monk who fucking happened to be from wherever. Like I could have made up anything I wanted, and I didn't feel restricted. So I don't get the non having race. Like what I'm not following that. Like that ain't jiving for me.
yeah. I don't. That was the whole thing, was that D&D is probably the most inclusive game you could
Yeah,
possibly imagine,
it's
right?
your imagination. Like what
And but it had very specific sets of rules for
as far
like
as
playing
traits? Yeah,
for like playing in this world, and as a DM you could always choose to ignore them or alignment or whatever. Um and
yeah.
that wasn't good enough. Now Wizards of the Coast we're like, no, we're gonna make this set in stone in our rule book. Like, I don't know.
That's wild to me.
It's a mess now, man. And so now a lot of people are just homebrewing games, and are following old rules, and
Mhm.
um,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
there's all kinds of other stuff, like them like changing the books published and like putting out like a version 1.2 and changing them like in the core rule book and stuff like that. Um, so it's just the state of tabletop gaming is really bad.
Now, see, it's a medium that I've always wanted to get into. Like, but I just feel like I've never had the consistency where like I could get into a good campaign. And when we tried it, like I was having fun, and then of course it devolved into douchebaggery because why wouldn't it?
I will say this: when you have a good group and you
Yeah.
have people that want to be there and have fun,
Mhm.
D&D can be the most
I,
fun I've ever had in my life.
I
Like
was
straight up.
loving my monk. I was
Yeah.
loving my monk. I was punching shit in the face, and like I was being stealthy, and we were. And then, but then, like again, like I don't know. Sometimes, like I think, I, first, I've had this happen twice where like there's one guy in the group who fucking just, and then it just devolves, and then we'll leave it at that. But
The biggest issue with like D&D is getting people together. And that's what that and like you
it's hard
guys
to get
kind of
adults
rag
together.
well, you guys also kind of ragged on me back then because I was like, listen, guys, like if we don't commit to coming once a week or every other week, it's not going to work. And then I
It
felt
didn't work.
like no, like especially like Robert and Watson were like all over my ass about it, and I was like, all right, whatever, we're like fine.
Yeah, I was having a blast, and I don't know. I would be open to doing D&D again, just because I really feel like it's a medium that like I have a good imagination. I don't think I'd want to be a DM, but maybe someday. Who knows? But it's one of those things like I've always wanted to try. But and then like you ever walk into like a shop and see guys playing like Warhammer and like the fucking dedication that fucking takes.
Yeah, Warhammer's next level. Warhammer's like the nerd of the nerd. Like
Yeah,
they're like the top boss of nerd fandom.
yeah,
That's
and
the
I feel like it's like upper echelon nerddom.
and then Warhammer's also under fire a lot, by the way, because
Why?
apparently Warhammer there's a lot of, like they say, Nazi culture in Warhammer.
Hold on. What?
Symbolism, and I don't know, man. I don't.
For
Yeah,
real?
I try not to even follow it. Yeah, because it's ridiculous. That's kind of like, and a lot of like shops, they like they don't like support Warhammer now. Um, it's crazy, dude. We walked in in a D&D shop in Lancaster, right?
Yeah.
And it was like the coolest store I've ever been in. But I could smell something was a little off, like something's a little strange. Turn the corner, and there's a whole bookshelf on like how not to be white. Um,
What?
my gay friend and me, and like just like I'm like, oh my god. And then they just turned into like I started looking around, and I'm like, oh my god, no, this is just a giant like like woke
How do
store. It's
how do
it's it.
how do you not be white? Like, let's talk. What?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it
How
anymore.
does somebody not? Wow. Okay, that's You know what? That's a can of worms. We're just not going to open. We're just not going to open that one. But
Yeah, so
I have so many. Oh wow. Um, that you
D&D
might
is
have.
struggling right now.
Yeah.
D&D struggling.
So we got way off topic, but that was beautiful. Uh, with tabletop gaming and then trading cards. Remember how we famously got fucking burned? I don't know if
On
have
the
we ever
Final
told this
Fantasy
story.
trading cards,
Have
on
we
the
ever,
Final
I don't know if
Fantasy
we've
ones.
yeah, I don't know if we ever told this story on the show ever.
I'm sure we told the story somewhat, but I don't know if we've ever told it from beginning to end.
Okay, so we uh we go to PAX. Was it PAX 2015? No, or 2016 we went to.
No, it was
Or
2018.
set
I thought.
was it? I don't remember when we went, but it was it might have been 2018. You're right. Um, and we go to PAX. So we're in Boston. We're having a good time. We all made a pact to just show up to the convention whenever the fuck we wanted. We weren't gonna wait in line in the beginning and like everyone else. We just would pregame, day drink, and then go show up to the convention. We went all 3 days, or yeah, I think we all went 3 days, and we walked by the Square Enix booth, and they were advertising Dissidia. Dissidia was the big advertisement. Like you had Dissidia NT, you had the fucking Dissidia on tablet, which we played there. Uh, they had you could get a photo with a Buster Sword. They had, I think they had like a preview for, like, I think it was Valkyrie Elysium. We were seeing previews for maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They had
Sounds right.
it
Yeah.
was some game. I forget. I think it might have been Valkyrie Elysium, but we were seeing that and Final Fantasy 14. They had Final Fantasy 15 running on PC. Like they were, hitting us with the Final Fantasy, and then we see, hey, there's a trading card game, and you can get specific decks, and like there's packs everywhere. And like we were buying packs, and then like they're like, yeah, it's readily available everywhere. And we're like, oh, really cool. And then we went to like a local card shop in Boston, and they had some.
Mm-hmm.
So like we were fucking thinking like, yo, we're gonna fucking get it. They demoed the game for us, and we had a blast. We had those cool play mats. Um, didn't we get promotional cards with it too?
Um.
I forget. We
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
We got promotional cards for doing the demo game that
Yeah.
were like a lightning card and
Yeah.
something like. Or we got to like
Yeah.
pick three.
Yeah. It was awesome. And we were having a blast. And like, all right, this is gonna be our game. This is gonna be our fucking game. And then we get back to central Pennsylvania, and we immediately experience a drought. Like we would find it sparingly. You would find it like randomly at a Walmart or something like that. But we were like, where the fuck is this game? And then we went to like State College at their card shop, couldn't find it. We went to the local Nerd Haven, couldn't find it. And then we thought we had an inn where White Knight in Williamsport,
Mm-hmm.
we asked him over and over, yo, we could get these in, we'll buy them, get these in, we'll buy them, get these in, we'll buy them. And never happened. And then, when I truly knew it was over? When my buddy who I now live with right now, but my buddy, we're in the greater Philadelphia area. So, Philly's like the fourth biggest city in the fucking US.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, dude, we can't find this key. There's no cards out here. I'm like, what? And I was like, oh no, we're done.
Well,
we could have ordered them online. We could have, but we chose not to do that.
that's not fun. You don't want to do that. You want to buy the packs and break them
open the packs. Yeah.
I have a box full of these cards, and I mean, like, there's a massive amount of them I have, and I like them. They're really cool cards. And I actually have some really valuable ones. They were valuable. I don't know if no one wants them, the value is arguably zero, right? But
all right.
I blame Square Enix for this mostly because they just didn't make enough content, and and this happens a lot with like card games where these companies put out these games expecting them to just take off immediately, and then they can keep filtering it. But like realistically, it's going to take a long time for a game to take off. It's not just going to happen immediately. And people are already so invested in something. It's the same like situation like the Fortnite thing, right?
Yeah.
People are already so invested in like Pokemon or Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever
Right.
their crack is, that they're not gonna buy a Final Fantasy card game. But I thought for me personally, like a collector that loves Final Fantasy, I thought they were fucking sweet. And
I love them.
that. I still think that, but the thing was we just couldn't get them anymore. And I did find a set at Target one time.
Yeah, one time.
That was it. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we ordered them from Eric, and they never showed up. So that was the end.
Yeah, we put in that order, like, yo, like, can we get this? And we were even willing to throw money down. Like, yeah, we were about it, and no, because we were like, yo, we'll demo the game for you here. Like, we'll fucking, we'll try to build a community. We got kicked right in the fucking dick. Right in the fucking dick.
And then Brittany from GameStop was ordering me the cards constantly, not understanding that she was ordering me the same deck over and over and over again. And I was just like, oh god, okay, I'll buy them, whatever.
Yeah, so they're sitting in some fucking drawer for me. Like I don't even know what I did with them. They're around. They're around because whenever I build a man cave again, like I want to like have like because I bought like the Final Fantasy 8 deck, the 9 deck, the 4
Mhm.
deck, the 6. I bought like so many. I feel like I spent like almost $200 on these cards.
Oh, I spent so much money on Final Fantasy cards that trip. So much money, a disgusting amount.
Yeah, because we couldn't help ourselves. We were like, fuck it, we were in.
Yeah.
So,
Then they pushed
yeah,
us
then
out.
they fucking hurt us bad. That was one of the first wounds Square Enix dealt me was that
Yep.
fucking fat fucking L.
Yep.
I always wanted to go back to PAX to see if they have a booth and be like, "You motherfuckers." Or another funny PAX story. Remember when I got? Well, you've told us before. Remember when I got fucking like almost assassinated at the fucking Sony booth?
Yeah, that was crazy because they were like so dead serious. Um, People who don't know, Pedro like glitched out beyond no,
It was
was it beyond
Detroit.
Detroit Become Human to the point where like, and it was a demo unit, so everyone could see that there was like a massive glitch happening on the screen, and the fucking Sony employee walks over and like dead serious, he's like, "What did you do?" And uh,
I just walked over here and I got stuck. And you know what's funny? That's not the first time that's happened to me playing a game where like I was telling you I kept running into trails and glitches and trails in the sky.
mhm.
I did it in the
No.
second chapter where like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you fucking what happens is if you're on the high speed mode and like you run into certain object you'll just get glued to and you have to reset.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I mean it's happened to me like
That's
4
never happened to
times.
me. Yeah, that's never happened to me. I do keep getting audio glitches every once in a while though when I play on
Yeah.
like TV. Like
Mm,
the sound will like glitch out, but it's also
mm.
not supported by Steam Deck, so I kind of give it a pass.
Ah, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's
So
what I'm playing.
in wrapping up with we fucking went on a fucking little journey there. Wrapping up with Gundam seed haters and gatekeeping. So I don't disagree with you that certain things need to be gate kept, but like when someone's showing interest in a medium, right? When someone's like looking to dip their toe in and you make a recommendation, sure, make your recommendation, right? But then don't sit there and tell them like and turn them off to everything else. Like here's my opinion on it. Like, so if I recommend a series to you, so let's say I'm recommending Gundam to you, I would recommend you watch Gundam Wing, Gundam Double O, Iron Blooded Orphans, and Seed, and then check out the UC stuff if you want to. But I'm not going to tell you don't watch UC, don't watch SD Gundam, don't watch. I'm not going to tell you not to do something.
Right.
Or like I don't know, even with Dragon Ball Z, like I will tell you watch Kai and watch
Hmm.
Dragon Ball. And then if you choose to watch Super, if you choose to watch GT, that's on you. But
Okay.
like I don't believe in telling people like don't do certain things. As far as like when you're making a recommendation.
Hmm.
Cuz I think everyone has the right to kind of find their own favorites and like find their own niche and I just feel like you fuck up a medium for somebody when you already put something bad in their head about it.
It's fair.
Unless it's like egregiously bad and it's well known that it's bad. Like, so like when you told me when I was like, I'm gonna play Dragon Quest, you're like, don't play 7. Play 7.
Yeah. Um, I agree. I agree. And with Gundam, there's so many jumping on points. We were just talking earlier before the show about these Universal Century Supremists. And for people who don't know Gundam, Universal Century is like the ongoing story that Gundam's been canonized for what, Pedro, 40 years, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, and it just seemingly for some reason never ends. I don't really know why, but then they made a whole bunch of jumping on points and like mini series that you could get into in the 2000s, like Gundam Wing, G Gundam, Gundam Seed, Gundam Double O, and they were all pretty good. and then they made Iron Blooded Orphans. And is the new one, The Witch from Mercury or whatever? Is that a Universal Century show or no?
I believe so.
Yeah. So there's like a massive amount of Gundam content to consume if you're into Gundam. And the thing is with Gundam is that there's so much that a lot of people, including like me, don't even watch Universal Century and don't watch most of the stuff. I generally stick with the Gundam series that I grew up with, right? Like I like G Gundam, Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed, and then I watched Iron Blooded Orphans. I tried watching Universal Century with Watson back in the day when we were living
It's
together.
too like
It's too much. It's like it not only is it old, but it's like I don't know. It's too much. It's too much for me.
but you
Now
do have a
Watson loves
sweet
it.
Gundam poster back behind you. I love that
I
poster.
do, yeah. That is really cool. I mean, and I will say I'm a fan of Gundam. I don't dislike the Universal Century stuff, but I don't watch it because it's too much. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't built a Gunpla kit in forever though. I need to do
I
that.
literally I started buying Gundams to build and haven't built one yet. I have right now like see this is how much of a fucking goddamn fan of Gundam I am. Like I have the I don't know if you can read that, but it's like the strike.
Amazing Strike Freedom Gundam.
Yeah. So
That's
like
from the builders, huh?
yeah, it's a high grade. I've been trying to only stick with high grade stuff because I don't like I
That's fine.
still
I
lack
respect the high
skill.
grade.
I
I
lack
respect the
skill.
high grade. Well,
I mean,
I don't think it's a skill thing because of like my like dumb 17-year-old ass can build like a only Japanese one before they even translate the instructions. I think anyone can do it. It's more of a time sink, right? Like a
yeah,
master grade Gundam for someone who doesn't know what they're doing is going to take a significant amount of time, and it's exhausting sometimes.
yeah.
Um,
No, you were getting into it when you were fucking painting everything and all that. Yeah, you were.
yeah, I mean, I love it. I love model kit building. It's very relaxing for me, but I understand why people wanted to do high grades. I don't disparage anyone. Now, Pedro, I told you I had some hot takes for the Gundam
Yeah,
series
let's hear them.
that you're not gonna like.
Okay, hurt me.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna roll real close to the mic. I sincerely think that G Gundam is the best Gundam series, and I'm not joking.
Wow. All right.
And
You
I
can't. Oh no, don't. You why?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm a straight shooter. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think the politics in Gundam is what holds it back mostly, and no one cares. All right, listen, hey, no one cares. I don't care about your Xeon. I don't care about your Trade Confederation. All right, no one cares. We want to see giant robots smash into each other at the fastest amount and most explosions possible, and that is what G Gundam is so good for. You can try and spin it to me 10 ways how you think you care about the politics going on in Gundam, but everyone buys the model kits. You know what people don't buy? Action figures of the characters of
No,
Gundam.
you're right. You're correct.
They buy the cool robots that are only used for battles because that's all anyone cares about. People will
Yeah,
care about the giant battles happening in
but
Gundam.
you need context and story. That's what makes the battles so good.
Yeah, I know. I watched all of Gundam Seed and I can't tell you what happens in it. You know what I can tell you though? The Freedom Gundam is freaking sweet and it blows shit up.
What? So Gundam Seed is like two best friends on opposite sides of a war, and they have really good reasons for being on opposite sides. And
And that's
you have the
super
fucking
sweet.
the
That's
naturals
so
against the plants, and the
yeah.
fucking yeah.
That's so sweet and I'm sure there's a lot of depth there,
Oh, it's
but
so good. It's so
I'm
good.
not watching a soap opera, Pedro. I'm watching
You
Gundam
shut your mouth.
because I want to see these robots fight. All
You
right?
do see those robots fight, but when there's
You
like
do.
context behind why they fucking like there were parts in Seed where
Mhm.
like some people get killed, and you're like, damn, that hurt me. Like I didn't want that guy to die, but I understand why he had to die.
Because he's not piloting the Gundam anymore. That's why it hurt.
Yeah, there were some sweet Gundams that get blown up. That's unfortunate. And also
You have
randomly in Gundam, there's always a guy with a mask. I'm not really sure what that trope's about, but
you have the coolest Gundam design of all time in Gundam Seed. Now, I think it's only in the manga, if I remember correctly. The
yeah,
Gundam Seed red frame, which
yeah.
wields a massive Gundam-sized sword.
Uh-huh.
Um, and hey, I don't care who's piloting that thing. All right, I just want to see it fly at the closest robot and cut it in half, and that's all I care about.
Oh my god. Yeah. So
And
that's our show, guys.
in G Gundam, that happens constantly. The story in G Gundam is complete nonsense, and no one cares about it. It's a giant
All right.
martial arts tournament between Gundams.
Yeah. God. Well, I don't really have a rebuttal to that. We're just gonna let that fester there. It's gonna be like a fart that lingers. You're just gonna. All right, that's there.
Burning finger.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I got in like a famous
Yeah.
Twitter argument with the one and only George Loftus because he was talking about the Witch from Mercury and the politics behind it, and I'm like, yeah, but what about the Gundam fights? And he's like,
And you broke him.
yeah, but there's a lot of depth to it. I'm like, I don't care. How are the Gundam fights good? He's like, well, I mean, but there's a lot of depth in stories. I'm like, no, George. Are the Gundam fights good? Giant robot, go boom. That's what we care about.
Oh man, good old that guy. Fuck the Celtics. Fuck the Bruins for the record. Just fuck Boston. Yeah, you know what? Fuck Boston. I'm on that. Fuck Boston right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's not going to earn you many fans, buddy. Why Boston?
Well, I'm a New York sports guy. So we don't like Boston to begin with.
Okay.
So I like the Islanders. I like the Knicks. We hate the Bruins. We hate the Celtics. Just
Okay.
It's what it is.
Okay.
And then again, like Boston was great when we went to PAX, and then we took a fat kick in the nuts. It happened in Boston. I hold the resentment.
Okay. So as a non-sports fan, Boston is cleaner and funner than both New York City and Philly. You are two residents of.
Yes, correct.
And you live in Philly, but Philly fans are known to be probably the most abusive of all sports fans.
They're misunderstood. Okay, I will say they're misunderstood.
All right.
They're just misunderstood. Granted,
I watched
they don't do any favors with themselves, but
I watched a video the other day of someone holding a sports sign on the corner of a street, and someone walked over, grabbed his sign, spit in his face, and punched him. I don't know what the sign said because I'm not the biggest sports fan in the world, so I read it, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But
listen, we need to be mindful, Philly. So in one calendar year, they've lost the MLS championship, the Super Bowl, and the World Series.
Yeah.
Philly has lost.
Bunch of losers over there.
Yeah, city of second place.
Damn.
Yeah, that's all. You know, my heart breaks for you, Philly. Not really. No, it doesn't. I think it's great. So, well, that's been a meaty show. It's been a very meaty show. I'm still processing like our D&D conversation and whatever that Gundam conversation was. So, but it's been a great show. Anything in closing you want to put out there?
No, I'm sending you an RPG consent checklist so your brain can just melt a little more.
All right, yeah. Let me review that. Like that's fucking wild. But as always, you can find us on Instagram at alphanerds_prime. You can find us on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Smash the like button. Shout out to our buddy Shaner, who is always smashing the like button.
That's right.
And you could give us a follow on Facebook. Give us a little interaction because I want to start reading comments and like interacting with our minimal fan base. But I want to start interacting with people because I feel like people got some funny shit to say to us, or at least things that I'll find funny. And I just like interacting with people. So yeah, leave us a comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, smash that like button. Smash that like button. Smash it. Hold on. RPG consent. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's okay. Genocide's a trigger. Okay. Police aggression, sexual. Okay. All right. We're not even gonna get into that. No, we're not gonna do it. So it's been a good show. As always, we are the Alpha Nerds. Often duplicated but never replicated. And remember, when in doubt, square up, throw down. Marty Sleva box me.
Whoa.